Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Astound Stadium in Midland, Texas, where the Black Gold are set to take on the Texas Herd in Week 4 of the Continental Football League. I am Mike Neubauer alongside Coach Rob Hernandez. Coach, good evening. How are you, sir?
Brilliant day to be playing football on this Father's Day weekend.
And the happiest of Father's Day to you too, my friend.
Absolutely. To everybody out there, every father that's in this world that has a son or has kids that they look after, big ups to all of y'all, and salute to y'all fathers out there.
Yeah, it's definitely been an up and down season for this team. We got a lot to cover, but, on a day like today, I'm sure a bunch of family and a bunch of dads get to spend and experience, West Texas football with their sons or daughters. And, at the end of the day, man, that's really all we can ask for. And that's what it's all about, my friend.
Absolutely. We have to look forward to something like this on a Sunday in the summer, getting to play football. What better way to spend a Sunday, Father's Day afternoon than playing football?
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna touch on a couple of the highlights from the previous 2 weeks. So here we are in Week 4. Week 2 we played at home against the Syndicate, and Week 3 we were on the road in San Antonio. So we're going to touch on some of those highlights now. We're going to start off with those Week 2 highlights against the Syndicate here in Midland. Week 2 action, Syndicate in Midland. Second play from scrimmage. Quarterback Hunt tries to hit Trey Sanders on a swing pass. Doesn't realize it's a lateral, though. Kobe Calvin does, scoops it up, and gives the Black Gold an early 7-0 lead. Scary play here as Raekwon Smith, running with force, hits safety Tyrell Thomas head on. Thomas would remain down. He would actually not return. Taking a closer look at it, it looks like Thomas led with his head down. Real scary scene. We all hope he's okay. Couple plays later, King breaks contain in the pocket, picks up the first down with his feet, and, sort of igniting the Syndicate rushing attack, which would hurt the Black Gold all afternoon, as proven here with Trey Sanders' run into Black Gold territory. The drive stalls, however, and leads us into a nightmare sequence for the Black Gold offense. Chris Barrett throws his first interception, picked off by Trevante Gilmore, who returns it inside the 20-yard line, setting up the Syndicate deep in Black Gold territory. Fourth down, King takes the snap, the rush is on, breaks contain on the edge, spots the first down marker, sees a path, and decides to take it to keep the chains moving and the drive alive for the Syndicate. Desperate for anything defensively, Jamison Lindsey answers the call with an acrobatic interception. The ref actually blows the play dead, which would be costly because on the next series, Barrett's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and intercepted by a diving Michael Robinson Jr., setting up the Syndicate inside the 5-yard line. And on the next sequence, with that threat on the ground, they run a play action, and Hunt finds a wide open Marcellus Johnson in the back of the end zone for the Syndicate's first points of the season. The nightmare second quarter continues for Barrett as he throws his third interception in the last 5 minutes. This time the refs actually let the play continue, and Rashad Morris returns it in for the Syndicate score, giving them a 13-7 lead. On the ensuing 2-point conversion try, Dominique Oliver gets to King, keeping it a 6-point game and heading us into a wild end of the first half sequence where Barrett hits Joe Levette on a slant pattern, trying to make something happen, actually fumbles the ball forward, and out of nowhere, Zatarius Anderson picks it up mid-air and runs it in for the touchdown. We're actually going to take a closer look at this because it was a wild play to watch. Barrett actually hits Joe Levette on a beautiful route. Joe Levette really trying to make something happen here, trying to break tackles, breaks a few of them. The ball gets stripped, and out of nowhere, Zatarius Anderson in full stride comes away and actually gives the Black Gold a lead heading into the half. On to second half action. William King III now in at quarterback for the Syndicate, taking over for an injury for Hunt, and he still brings that same dynamic rushing attack from that quarterback position, busted out for 14 yards and a first down. Few plays later, Trey Sanders, still very much a dominant threat here, breaks through every single level of the Black Gold defense, busting it out for 37 yards. Touchdown actually saved by Gabriel Adewuze, but it would be short-lived because King would find Quantavious Workman in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, giving the Syndicate the lead once again. On the ensuing two-point conversion, they actually ran the same play-action pass, and they find Marcellus Johnson in the corner of the end zone for the two-point conversion, 21-14 Syndicate. Desperate for any spark offensively, the Black Gold actually turned to wideout Trey Goodman at quarterback, who finds Zatarius Anderson for a gain of about 14 and a first down. And later in the series, Goodman shows off his legs on a design quarterback draw, picks up about 22, 23 yards on the play, and gets them set up inside of the 20-yard line. Couple plays later, Goodman takes the snap, pump fakes, looking for Anderson in the back of the end zone. That pump fake threw off the Syndicate defender because they actually held Anderson, giving the Black Gold a first down inside the 20. Couple stalled runs later, Goodman tries to take matters into his own hands on the running side, breaks the pocket, tries to do a pump fake again, rushes, but does not make the sticks. So the Black Gold turn to their reliable place kicker, Eddie Godina, for a field goal try, and he bangs it through for 3 points. Syndicate 21, Black Gold 17. On to the fourth quarter Continental shift. Goodman trying to show off his arm, almost intercepted, but Gonzalez comes up with the catch for 15 yards and a first down. Real dangerous pass there, but nonetheless, it's first down inside the red zone. Goodman tries to find a streaking Elijah Roundtree in the corner of the end zone. He's wide open, and he overthrows his target. Black Gold turned to Eddie Godina on a 35-yard field goal attempt, and it is good, 21-20 Syndicate. Black Gold defense get the ball back to the offense, and Goodman decides to use his legs to pick up the first down. But on the very next play, he goes to the air and overshoots his target. Once again, Trevante Gilmore has the interception, his second of the game, actually hurdles a defender and gets the ball inside of the 30 for the Syndicate. Contain continues to be a problem for the Black Gold defensive front as King breaks the pocket, finds the sticks, and rushes it himself for that first down inside the 5. And the Black Gold defense stands strong, though, forcing a Los Dos attempt, which goes through, giving the Syndicate a 23-20 edge. Desperate for anything in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter here, Goodman takes the snap, steps up into the pocket, finds a seam, and decides to take it himself, rushing it up for the first down. Third down, Black Gold needing to find the sticks to keep the drive alive. Goodman takes the snap, steps up into the pocket, appears to have a running lane, but he decides to throw it, and it's incomplete. Turnover on down, Syndicate take over. Black Gold defense needs to step up, and they do. David Leash flies through the hole, creating a turnover on downs and giving Goodman one more shot with under a minute to go. And on third down, Goodman takes the snap, tries to find Elijah Roundtree, comes up short, and that will do it. Your final score, Syndicate 23, Black Gold 20. Turnovers really hurt the Black Gold offensively. 4 interceptions by the Syndicate defense, and they leave Midland with the victory. These two teams will face each other once again in Week 6 over in Austin. Week 3, Black Gold on the road in San Antonio. Turnovers played a big role in the loss to the Syndicate in Week 2. And here on the second play from scrimmage, Barrett throws another interception. Zaytique McGee, number 4 for the Toros, returns it all the way down to the 22-yard line, setting up San Antonio's offense right away. Black Gold asked their defense to hold, and hold they do, setting up the Toros on a 44-yard field goal attempt by Kenneth Almendares, and he bangs it through. 3-0 Toros. Picking up the action late in the first quarter, Will Arndt finds his receiver, Cam Eccles, on a wide receiver screen, breaks through the secondary and finds the end zone for the game's first touchdown. Next Black Gold possession, Chris Ware in the game at quarterback now, hits Caleb Jolivet on a 15-yard completion, stripped by number 27 Matthew Littlejohn, returned by number 20 Rotarion Johnson to the 10-yard line. Questionable if he was able to make a football move, but nonetheless it is a turnover. Needing another big defensive play, Jamison Lindsey steps up once again, undercuts the route and picks off the Will Arndt pass, returns it 56 yards all the way down to the Toros' 32-yard line, setting up the Black Gold offense. Toros D trying to answer the call now. First play after the turnover, Ware steps up into the pocket and is sacked by number 58, Robert Rios. On the very next play after the sack, another turnover. Ware takes the snap, and he's going to find wideout Zatarius Anderson for a 5-yard completion, and it is stripped by number 21, Lumagia Hearns, who returns it 83 yards to the house. Defensive touchdown for the Toros, a real blow to the Black Gold offense. With the score 17-0, Ware finds Caleb Jolivet for a 20-yard completion. Jolivet leading the team in receptions. With the wind to his back, coach turns to his place kicker for a 64-yard field goal attempt, and Godina comes up just short. Score remains 17-0. And with about 6.5 left in the first half, quarterback Will Arndt finds his receiver, number 9, Keelan Harris, with a one-handed, beautiful grab, sets up the Toros inside the 2-yard line. And with that 6'4", 215 frame, Will Arndt decides to take it himself for the quarterback sneak, giving the Toros a 24-0 edge. Tall City's next offensive possession, wideout Zatarius Anderson shows off his wide receiver skills, climbing the ladder for a beautiful 19-yard reception from Chris Ware. Special teams pins the Toros back deep in their own zone, and on the ensuing play, Will Arndt, trying to scramble out of the pocket to avoid the pressure, throws on the run and finds a streaking Chris Carpenter down the sidelines. 85-yard touchdown grab for the Toros. A real dagger for the Black Gold defense. The tsunami of turnovers continue for Tall City right before halftime. This time Chris Ware scrambling, trying to get out of the pocket, gets stripped, and number 91, Thomas Ibrahim, picks it up, runs it back 15 yards for another defensive score. Black Gold desperate to just get out of this first half with the score 37-0, punting from deep in their own end zone, and it's blocked. It is recovered by the Black Gold, and they bring it out to the 14, but still special teams making a big impact for the Toros. Toros offense looking to strike one more dagger before the end of the first half. Quarterback Will Arndt finds his receiver Wayne Ruby in the back of the end zone for a 14-yard touchdown reception. First half ends with a barrage of miscues and Toro points. They lead 44-0. On to second half action now, and backup quarterback in for the Toros, Kelvin Durham, and he finds a streaking receiver, number 15, Lance Lejeune, 51 yards for the touchdown. Toros pick up exactly where they left off at the half. Middle of the third quarter now, Toros pressing once again, and really just an overall lazy defensive series for the Black Gold. Poor tackling, poor pursuit to the ball, and number 2, Andrew Henry, runs it in from 20 out. The score 58-0. Into the fourth quarter, Continental shift now, and the Toros call on Almendaris for a 50-yard field goal attempt. It sails wide right, but it does clear the back of the end zone, and that means a 1-point rouge for the Toros. And with that, all Toros in this one as they win in decisive fashion, 59-0. Really a lack of offense by the Black Gold combined with the number of turnovers led to very little opportunity for them to get points on the board. They're going to look to rebound next week at home against the Texas Herd. That game is going to be Sunday night at 7 p.m. at Astound Stadium. Then they follow that up with another home game against these very same Toros in Week 5 of the Continental Football League. So, Coach, we just saw the recaps of the last 2 weeks here. You know, what do you think this team needs to do? Obviously, a lot of miscues offensively, but what's your overall take about what they need to do in order to rebound here tonight?
Well, it's imperative that we start the game off good. Offensively would be really, really good for us to do that. Secondly, we have to close the half. We have to close it out. We can't be giving up these nonsensical touchdowns and penalties, and just have to close it out clean. A good, clean first half, and it's really, really imperative that we put a lot of focus on opening up the half. So the closing of the halves and the opening of the halves will set the tone for the rest of the half. And we haven't done that the last 2 football games, and we've paid the price for it.
Coach, let me read some stats to you for the last 5 minutes of the first half, respectfully combined between the 2 games. We gave up 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. We had 3 interceptions offensively. 1 of them was a pick 6. We had a fumble loss returned for a touchdown, and we had a blocked punt, all within the last 5 minutes of each half. And that's total numbers between the 2 games. But again, you know, we've called on this defense time and time again, and it seems like early in the game they do answer that call. You know, we have some great plays by Jamison Lindsey at the cornerback position. You know, we've had some great linebacker plays breaking up the passes in the middle of the field. You know, even some short yardage distance, you know, we were able to shut some guys down, maybe even hold to a field goal attempt. But you can't go to that wishing well too often, man. I mean, I feel like this offense needs to move the ball and control more of the clock, especially in this first half.
We have to. It's essential for us to do that because especially on a night like tonight, it's really, really warm out here. We're in the hundreds out here in West Texas. It's high heat. We don't have much humidity, although there has been a lot of rain here lately. You'll wear down fast. If the defense is staying on the field, which is the hardest thing to do in football, is to stop somebody from going forward. They're going to get worn out. It's just the nature of the beast. We have got to execute on the offensive side of the football. We got to keep possession, and we got to sustain drives. We cannot have self-inflicted penalties, self-inflicted turnovers. Those will kill you. And if we're able to do that, we're going to have success tonight and going forward. But that's imperative that we get that figured out. The close of the first half and the opening start of the second half.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with the starting lineups. And we're actually going to talk about a sort of a newer quarterback that couldn't play last week in San Antonio, but we got a little glimpse of him in that second half against the Syndicate. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to break all that down as soon as we get back.
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
And welcome back to Astound Stadium. We are in the pregame show brought to you by JMR Services. And right before the break, Coach, we said we were going to touch on, this electric quarterback that we got to see in the second half against the Syndicate game. But before we do that, I want to break down our defense because this has really been sort of like the crux of this team so far this season. And we're going to take a look at the starting lineup defensively for the Black Gold. You know, in the middle, we got Scott Walker and Will Green, two guys that we didn't really see play the middle of that front four, but we expect big things from them, and at least to open up the outside. You know, we have our boy Praise Amawale and Dominique Oliver, and I know, Coach, you have a lot to say about these two young men.
Absolutely. Two great bookends that we have, Praise Amawale and Dominic Oliver. All year long have done some great things for us on the edge, whether it's setting the edge or getting off on the pass rush real fast. Both of those guys have caused havoc. We need them tonight to do the same, and I'm betting a good amount that they will.
I think so. And, if we can control the middle and release those guys on the outside, it's going to be a rough night for the Herd offense. Again, they definitely do get that pressure and they make those tackles' lives pretty miserable there, especially in the first half from what we've seen in the last two games. In the middle, we have David Leash and Justin Whiteside playing the linebacker core. We have Kobe Calvin, who's sort of that monster back that third linebacker slash, fourth or fifth defensive back. He has the ability to cover, and his awareness to the ball has been impressive over these first 2 weeks, including that, scoop and score fumble recovery on the second play from scrimmage against the Syndicate.
Kobe Calvin is just he's a high IQ kid, very, very, very good athlete. He can stop the run as the third linebacker or play that nickel position that we need him to play. Very versatile, and he's really one of the keys to our defense, along with Justin Whiteside in the middle. Kobe Calvin is a playmaking machine.
University of Texas, Permian Basin, product. And then, in the secondary, we've seen some changes over the first 2 weeks at the personnel at that level. And one of the more impressive standouts has been Jamison Lindsey, who's been playing the cornerback position. When the Black Gold defense need a big play, he has come up big time. We saw that sort of acrobatic interception that the refs, I guess, blew dead by accident. That could have turned into a big play. And then he had a nice little pick against Will Arndt, undercutting the route and returning it for about 52 yards. My opinion, he should have taken it to the house. But when the defense plays 90% of the game on the field, man, it's really hard to ask them to do things like that when they do make that play. But what's your impression of Jamison Lindsey so far in these first 2 weeks, or these first 2 games, excuse me?
He's been a revelation for us. He went up to San Antonio last week and had that great play that you speak of. Jamison Lindsey, we can really leave him out there on an island by himself, and he's going to hold it down for us. So that's one guy that you can really trust out there at the cornerback position. Really, really good with his ball skills when the ball's in the air, goes up and gets it, has tremendous skill, high point in the ball, as we saw last weekend. Need more plays out of the secondary. Wish we had a little bit more Jamison Lindsey's around.
Definitely. Well, one guy that we can count on, I guess, from the free safety perspective, is a guy who could tackle. That's Gabriel Adewuze, and he's been a guy that's been able to save some of those longer runs that should have been broken out for touchdowns. We saw that mostly again against the Syndicate game. But we need a guy like this that can actually step up, make those plays, and sort of be that last line of defense and break down and make those open field tackles.
Adewuze has great size for a safety at 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a ball hawk. We have had good luck on the secondary most of the year. Our problems have been on the other side of the ball, wearing out our defense, not being able to sustain drives, and that has to be fixed because we got to play good complementary football. The best defenses don't stay on the field very long, and early in the year that was showing well for us. As we got into league play, it's kind of turned around. We need to get that turned in the other direction and straightened out, and hopefully we do tonight.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that offense, let's see who we got going on the offensive side of the ball for the Black Gold. Starting at quarterback will be number 4, Trey Goodman. And again, Coach, we got a glimpse of him. We're going to talk a little bit more about him after we cover the rest of the offense here. But we got a glimpse of him in the second half of that syndicate game. And I think more importantly than anything, you know, he brings a different dynamic to that position, a dynamic that I guess we didn't see from any other quarterback that we had play so far this season, and that's with his feet.
Absolutely. He's electric out there. He's a right-handed Michael Vick, he reminds me of. Has tremendous speed, steps up into the pocket, and he can navigate the pocket well, has a really good arm, has not played a whole lot of quarterback, but you could see glimpses of stardom out there from Trey. And hopefully he gets it going tonight. Has good size at 6 foot, 235 pounds. He turns into almost as a running back when he's running the ball. So he has the dual threat capability to throw the ball down the field, throw the quick outs. He's got the strength in the arm to reach the other hash. He's got what you're looking for at the quarterback position. Really, really high IQ kid. As we got to talk to him a couple of weeks back, and just a leader. You could see it in his voice. You can hear it in his voice when he's out there talking. He's somebody you want to play hard for, and I think we got the good one with Trey Goodman.
I agree, Coach. And, you know, he's going to be looking for our top receiver for the year, speaking of leaders, and that's going to be Caleb Jolivet. And we've seen some wild plays from him throughout the season, but more impressive to me has been some of the consistency that we've seen when the ball gets thrown his way. He did have a couple miscues, you know, some questionable calls on the field. I mean, you know, who knows if that play last week against the Toros was actually a football move that caused the fumble recovery. You can look at it 10 times and you get 10 different opinions on it, but he has been a leader in that locker room for that team, and he has been a go-to receiver for whoever's playing that quarterback position.
Absolutely. He's been a staple of consistency at that wide receiver position, and one that has it's had some flashes of brilliance, but not enough consistency. Jolivet has been that guy that's been consistent. So there's not any wonder why he's our go-to guy, Caleb Jolivet.
And he's got a little receiver core around him that's going to give him some support. We saw what Elijah Roundtree did against this very herd team in that Week 1 preseason game. Blocking downfield, clearing the path, and giving Jolivet a sort of a guiding light to that pylon and the 6 points. In the backfield, it has been sort of a little revolving door circus back there, but we're back to Jalen Samuel, gentleman out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we only got a little bit of a glimpse of him. He's been really hurt the last couple weeks, so I'm excited to see what he's able to put together for us this week. We also have another running back, which you kind of see in the background there. That's Garrison Johnson. I'm excited to see what he's able to put together as well.
It's both, and Jalen Samuel is going to be a tremendous running back to try to stop. He's a bowling ball, 260-pounder. He's a big man that can run, shifty. Garrison's going to give a little bit more, change of pace out there at 220 pounds. He's not as big, but he's still big by all means for a running back. I think the 1-2 punch of Johnson and Samuel will do us well tonight. We'll have to check him out.
Well, he is an Orangeman, man. He did go to school in upstate New York over in Syracuse, so I hope he brings some of that experience and some of that program, dynamic in the backfield for the Black Gold tonight. And then, of course, we talk a lot about our O-line, and, it's really been Swiss cheese over the first 2 weeks. It's hard to develop anything with routes or any sort of running game when, there's so much penetration up the middle and around the edges. I'm really looking forward to a consistent consistent offensive line playing like just a solid quarter to start, and then from there breaking it into a half of football and then completing a game. But everything starts up front, Coach. I mean, that's fundamentals 101 on offense.
It's been probably our main problem this year of being able to extend drives and be efficient out there. The offensive line has been a problem. I mean, it's no secret when you turn on the film. We're kind of struggling at those positions. We did have a lot of changes, some new faces brought in. We'll see how that works out tonight. Hopefully we got the right combination of the right 5 guys out there. That way we can be more effective and efficient moving our offense down the field.
Absolutely. And we're going to take a quick look at our special teams. And this has really been a bright spot. Clark Riedel, he's been a busy guy at the punter position, but boy, does he have a leg. He has really given the defense every little ounce of possibility to start their defensive drives. Pinning the offense back as far back as he can make it. But we've seen him do a couple coffin kicks, punting the ball deep in our own territory and getting it out to a respectable place for our defense to work out. And then, of course, the place kicker, Eddie Godina. I mean, Coach has so much confidence in him. I mean, last week he entrusted him to a 64-yard field goal attempt. He did come up short, but we have seen the leg that he has the ability to put forth. So, I mean, when it comes down to potentially the Continental shift, special teams are going to be a big play in this. I'm excited to see what these guys can bring to the table for field position and getting those necessary points when we need them.
It's key in the pro game. The kicking game is the key to the game. It gives you field position. It takes field position from the opponent. And then a good kicker like Godina can give you points that normally you wouldn't be able to touch from being so far out. He's got a rocket leg. He's really good with his accuracy. Godina is one of the top kickers in all of the league. There's no doubt about it. Our punter has been a tremendous revelation for us. Our punter has been a bright spot on the defense, to be honest with you. He's punted the ball well, pinned the opposition deep, and that's what we look for tonight. See if we can do the same.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, let's take a quick look at Trey Goodman. We got a little highlight clip of that second half action against the Syndicate. So let's take a quick peek and see what he was able to put together here. So on this play, he was able to definitely find Zatarius Anderson, so his timing was with him.
I talked to Trey the first week. I said, be ready to play quarterback. And so he got reps every week. So it wasn't just let's figure something out. We actually was planning to have him play this game anyway.
And that was Coach talking about Goodman, already being a part of the game plan in the second half against the Syndicate. Coach, you got to talk to Coach Blackshear about that after the game. What was your impression about what you saw in the second half from Goodman and what he brings to this offense?
Well, it's a change of pace, and it's something different for the defense to have to be able to deal with the feet and the arm of a kid like that. Plus, he's a real high IQ kid. He's highly coachable. He's a good kid. You can hear it in his voice. He's a great leader. He's somebody that the team will rally around and play hard. I think the unseen stuff on film is how likable is a guy, and us being able to talk to Trey for just that little bit amount of time, it came up where he's just a real likable person, and him being a leader like that, and having that natural energy, that natural gravity that people gravitate to, is going to make them play harder. So I think we got the right leader finally on there. He's not looking over his shoulder anymore. This is his football team. So now, we're going to live and die by Trey. So hopefully he comes out here, puts his best foot forward tonight, and let's see him do the job.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. You're watching the Tall City Black Gold pregame show brought to you by JMR Services. Wishing everybody out there a very happy Father's Day, and we're glad that you could be with us. We're about 9, maybe 8 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to step aside for another commercial break, and we'll be back with the national anthem, the coin toss, and the start of the game.
It's a Mexican treat, Jumborito. What a fun place to eat, Jumborito. No one makes them bigger or cooks them better than burritos at Jumborito.
A tasty treat, Jumborito.
And good lean meat, Jumborito. Morning, noon, or night, any time is right for a Mexican treat, Jumborito.
Diamondback's kind of the poster child for the shale revolution. You know, we started in 2012, we went public with 3,000 barrels a day of production, and now here we are doing 900,000 barrels a day of production. We continue to look for ways to grow the business organically and inorganically, like we've done over the last decade and a half. Diamondback's core business is nothing more complicated than converting rock into cash flow. We own about 800,000 acres worth of leases in the Permian Basin, all based in Texas. We've grown significantly over the last 15 years. Started with almost nothing, about 30,000 acres, and now here we are today at a differential size and scale. The differentiator for us has been our ability to convert that rock into cash flow at cheaper prices and cheaper cost structure than anybody else, which has allowed us to acquire a lot of assets and grow our oil production significantly. We estimate we're only getting about 10% out of the oil in place out of the ground today. Diamondback is kind of the poster child for this shale revolution in Texas, and that wouldn't be possible without free markets, capitalism, and a supportive regulatory environment in the state of Texas.
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Have you tried the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club?
Did you say ranch?
I need a little ranch. Ranch, come on, meet me at the ranch. Ranch, I wanna let my boots start around.
Candied bacon.
Step forward, one step back. Take your
A buttermilk ranch bun
it all back. Put your hands up high, drop down low.
with a jalapeno kick.
The way it goes at the ranch.
Introducing the Jalapeno Ranch Club. It's Chick-fil-A chicken, all ranched up.
And welcome back. We are about to announce the players on the field. Looks like they're running out now. Coach, as they're taking the field, any final words here before we kick off for week 4? What do you expect against the same herd team that we saw in the preseason?
Well, I'm looking for more dominant win in a more dominant fashion. It's a hot night out here, a really hot June Father's Day night, and I'm pretty sure we have the numbers advantage on them again like we had last time. So we should be able to be more efficient moving the football. I'm looking for that offense to sustain drives, to not play against themselves and the other team. We're not good enough to do that, so we have to be more efficient. And I'm looking forward to looking at this revamped offensive line. It's an offensive line that a lot of new faces for this week have been brought in. I know they're really, really high on a couple of these guys, and I'm looking for these offensive linemen to dominate the line of scrimmage.
I am as well. And, you know, I'm also looking for some of those repetitions that we talked about in the first 2 weeks. You know, we didn't really get that with the bye week that was sort of forced upon us in week 1. And, you know, with all the retooling and with some of the different personnel, you know, no disrespect to the herd. In fact, you know, a big shout out to them for, you know, making the trip back out here to play this game and, you know, play the other teams in the Continental Football League South Division. But I'm also looking for a lot of those all necessary reps to find some of the timing between the quarterbacks and receivers, to find out how, you know, as you pointed out, Coach, some of those blocking patterns sort of work with these new personnel. You know, call it a dress rehearsal again. This is, you know, this one counts. This one is live. So I'm curious to see, you know, what we could put together as a complete unit, not just defensively. We've seen what they can do. I'm going to be really laser focused on offensively, seeing how we can, you know, sort of move the ball and manage the clock.
We've really been a one-dimensional team so far, really, really counting on our defense to hold it down for the team. And as we saw last week, it'll last for so long until the levee breaks. And so we have to be a two-dimensional team playing offense and defense, complementary football, along with special teams. And I'm looking for being efficient, keeping the ball moving, keeping the chains moving, keeping the offense on the field, controlling the clock, keeping their defense on the field, wearing them down, and getting some easy touchdowns because of that.
I'd like to see some turnovers defensively too, Coach. I know we haven't had many to talk about, but the ones we have came at critical times. I'd like to see the defense, you know, continue to put up points on the board, give that offense a little bit of a buffer, and sort of give them that ease and that comfort zone. And, you know, I'm curious to see what Coach Stinson has up his sleeve in order to, you know, put some of that pressure on using those defensive ends and some of those linebacker blitz packages that we've seen, particularly in that preseason game. But defensively, I'm looking for them to make that, you know, sort of initial push as well. So it looks like the coin flip has been completed, and, you know, we're getting a little bit of a delay on the feed. Coach, can you fill us in on who's going to be receiving?
It looks like we're going to be receiving the football. We're looking for total domination to start us off. Quarterback Trey Goodman will be out there leading us down the field our first drive.
And here we go with the national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they flew through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, save us that star-spangled banner, yeah, the land of the free and the home of the
Great rendition of the national anthem here, Coach, and looks like we are getting set for football. We're going to try to sneak another commercial in here. Actually, I checked that. We're actually going to stick around for the prayer.
Players, coaches, officials, and fans. Keep everyone safe. Help us compete with integrity and respect. And may we all do great for you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Let's get it
At
on.
Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
And we are set for kickoff. It looks like the Herd are taking the field in order to kick off to the Black Gold. So we're starting offensively, Coach. You know, again, we're talking about establishing a little bit of a running game, moving the chains, keeping the clock moving, and really just starting to establish some sense of an offensive identity. That's really what we're hoping for here.
I think it comes down to establishing the quarterback. They got to establish the quarterback. You know, I know the offensive line is something big that they're harping on, but the quarterback it's been a revolving door. The last 2 weeks ago, they found Trey Goodman. I know he was not able to play this last weekend, but it all starts with QB1. So hopefully Trey could come out here, put us on our front foot, and never look back tonight.
We'll see how that goes. We're lined up here, ready for some football on Father's Day evening.
Got the feed? The kicker tees it up. He boots it away. It's going to be taken in the end zone, out to the 5, the 10, the 15, still on his feet at the 20, the 30, and he's going to be all the way up to the 34-yard line before he's brought down.
Yeah, Coach, that's Caleb Jolivet. You know, he's not only that receiver core or danger in the receiving area, but he's also, you know, our kick returner and punt returner. We've seen some action out of him, too, in that position.
Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line. Be a 2-by-2 set. Takes a snap. Going to option out to the right-hand side. Going to keep the ball around the 40. Still has it. Up to the 48 and spins down to the 49-yard line of the Herd.
Yeah, that's Trey Goodman, Coach, with the legs. We talked about that and what he's able to accomplish with it. So we're excited to see what he can continue to bring in that regard.
That's Goodman for a gain of 11 yards on first down. Move the ball all the way down to the 49-yard line of the Herd. 1st and 10. Goodman brings him to the line. Split backfield. Pro set. It's going to be 2-by-1 set. Goodman takes the snap. Going to give it to the big man right up the middle at the 40. Puts his head down. No, he's going to hurdle a man all the way down to the 35-yard line. It's going to be a gain of around 14 yards.
And that's that new running back, Coach, Garrison Johnson. You know, definitely like what I see so far after a few plays and, you know, blocking for Trey and then taking the ball in that snap.
Absolutely. Johnson, the big back, they're pretty much running the veer option. Goodman brings them to the line. It's going to be a 2-by-1 set. Goodman in the shotgun, split backfield. Goodman takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off in the backfield. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and move forward to a route. They're going to stop him around the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was some of that penetration we talked about pregame, Coach, up the middle. You know, we'd like to see the O-line in the center and the guards, you know, really control that line of scrimmage and open up some of those paths. So, you know, good execution by the Herd on that play. I think that we need to not take plays off on the O-line side.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Going to be a timeout on the field. Officials timeout. It's the officials gathering together.
No laundry on the field, huh, Coach?
No, it's not about a flag. It's talking about something. It's an official timeout.
See what's going on here.
Rule on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
It was a fumble, and the Herd are going to take over at their own 35-yard line. They ruled a fumble after convening together, and the Herd are going to have the football.
Coach,
I did not
see anything happen. I missed the ball even coming out. I know we're having a little bit of a, you know, refinement with the feed here. So maybe it was a little grainy, but I didn't even see the ball pop out.
No, not at all. It must have been something late, a strip or something like that, where they were giving him forward momentum, where they just kept the play going, and he got stripped at the last second.
Wow. All right. Well, either which way you look at it, it's 1st down and 10 for the Herd on the 35-yard line. And here we go, asking a lot of our defense once again here.
Here we go. The quarterback brings them to the line, operating primarily out of the spread. They come out in a 2-by-2 set. Before we get it going, they're going to call a timeout. A timeout on the field.
Who called timeout, Coach?
It's the Herd. The herd's going to call a time.
Yeah, we again, forgive us. We're running into a few technical difficulties with our feed on their camera, but we found out last week or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, against the Syndicate, the timeout situation is 2 timeouts in the first half, and then 1 in the third quarter, and then 1 in the fourth quarter. So that's sort of the modified version of the timeout rule with the Continental shift and what the COFL is putting into play.
Which are kind of weird.
Definitely.
It's not Americanized football for sure. So here we go. The quarterback brings them to the line. The 2-by-2 set. Running back flank to his left. Don't have a names or roster for the herd. So you got to bear with us. He's going to hand it off around the right-hand side, and they're going to have hands on him in the backfield for at least a 1-yard loss. Good gang tackling right there by number 62. Big man on the front line. The defensive tackle was the first one in the backfield, number 82.
That's Will Green, Coach. That's one of the guys we talked about in pregame, making some moves on the interior line defensively.
Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. 2nd down and 11. 2-by-2 set. Running back flank to his left. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out to the running back at the 30, catches it, and breaks a tackle. He's going to be brought down in the backfield for about a 1-yard loss.
Again, I apologize about the feed. We're working out some technical difficulties with the camera at the stadium.
Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. 3-by-1 set. Takes the snap. Looks to run. It's a quarterback draw right up the middle. Shakes a tackle at the 40, still on his feet. He's going to spin all the way up to the 40-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th down and 5 for the Texas herd. A planned quarterback draw by the quarterback, and he's pretty elusive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away.
Defense making plays once again, Coach.
Have the safety with the stop. I'm going to call that number 12. Let's see, is that number 12? Number 17 for the Black Gold, and we talked about him earlier, Kobe Calvin.
That's Kobe. Kobe stepping up, making plays for sure.
The Black Herd line up to kick it away. They're going to punt it on a 4th and 5 from their own 45-yard line. The snap is back. The boot is away. It's a good one. It's a high one. It's going to come down around the 15-yard line. It's going to be taken from there, and the return is on. At the 30. Turns on the speed at the 40. The 50. Has an alley. Needs a block. He gets one at the 30. Still on his feet at the 20. Inside of the 20 and brought down at the 15-yard line. And that's going to be our main man, Joe Levette, number 3 for the Black Gold.
Setting up the plays again, Coach. I mean, we've seen him be a dynamic playmaker when it mattered. You know, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of him on the special teams front, in addition to his leadership on the wide receiver core. So let's see if this sets up the offense and, you know, shake off that early turnover that they had on the ground.
All the way down to the 15-yard line of the Texas herd. The Black Gold are on the move. That's exactly what we needed. Took the return all the way back from the 15-yard line of the Black Gold to the 15 of the herd. Did not see any flags, as we do have some officials talking. Let's see. They're going to spot it at the 15. That was a clean return by the Black Gold.
Yeah, once again, I apologize for the video delay. We're working out some kinks with the camera crew at the stadium, but we're going to get that live back up pretty quickly here.
I think we were working on it. We almost got it. Great blocking down the right-hand side as the black gold are moving from north to south out here on the stadium. He set up his return and had a line of blockers lined up on the right-hand side, and they just cleared a pathway. Joliet is an explosive athlete. Like we've already talked about him earlier, he's our most consistent wide receiver, has been all season. Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line. A 2-by-2 set. Yeah. We flip it. Here we go. Goodman takes the snap, going to hand the ball off to Johnson. No, he keeps it around the right-hand side, still has it, and he's going to spin all the way down to the 4, give him the 5 to 6-yard line of the herd. A great fake by Goodman as he had Johnson in the backfield, flanked to his right. That's number 21, Johnson. Is that not, Mike?
Yes, that is Garrison Johnson, and it looks like he was out there leading the path for Trey Goodman. But again, making moves outside the tackles on the quarterback run. You know, I love to see him use those legs in order to establish and, you know, sort of set up some of those play action passes and open up some of those receivers on the outside. And once again, people, I apologize for the video delay. We had some technical difficulties, but it looks like we got everything back up and running now. I know we missed that big return on the punt, but Coach, you did a hell of a job making that call.
Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line, a 2-by-2 set. Going to be Johnson flanked to his left. Takes a snap. Going to keep it. He's looking. He has a man in the end zone. It's going to be completed for a touchdown. That's going to be a touchdown for the black gold.
Beautiful.
As he faked the ball. He faked the ball to Johnson and got out to the left-hand side, squared his shoulders. A right-handed quarterback moving to his left. That's not an easy throw, Mike.
No, definitely not. But that's what happens, Coach, when you can establish yourself on the ground. You know, those defensive backs now they kind of have to play, you know, in the sense that they're going to run downhill and try to make the stop with your legs, and it opens up the receiving core out of the backfield.
Absolutely. Especially with a dual threat capability quarterback like Goodman. He puts a lot of stress on that defense. A lot of stress. Here we go, the PAT. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's no good. My goodness, maybe just a little bit to the left, off to the left. I thought it was good. It looked good from here.
Maybe just barely it made it over there.
The white hat called it good. The guys under the goalpost called it no good. So he says it's no good.
Yeah, he said it's no good. So it's a 6-0 game. We're going to step aside real quick. This is Tall City Black Gold Football brought to you by JMR Services.
It's a Mexican treat, Jumborito. What a fun place to eat, Jumborito. No one makes them bigger or cooks them better than burritos at Jumborito.
A tasty treat, Jumborito.
And good lean meat, Jumborito. Morning, noon, or night, anytime is right for a Mexican treat, Jumborito.
And we are back for the kickoff after the black gold touchdown.
We are. There's going to be a little bit of an official timeout on the field They're having to straighten.
Quite a few delays on the official front here.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we were singing the praises of Godina in the kicking game. Not like him to miss an extra point attempt like that. Again, all points critical, especially if the offense, has historically had trouble moving the ball. I'd like to see them bounce back. Again, not quite sure what this delay is. It looks like the guys are moving towards the sideline here.
They are. As he came over and spoke to Coach Black. Not sure what is going down on the field, but we are having some type of official delay.
Well, we're gonna take another quick 30-second commercial break. Maybe they can get it sorted out by then. We'll be right back.
They did not. So we still don't know what it was. Maybe it's a technical delay with some of our cameras. Go, Dina. Tease it up. He's going to boot it away. It's going to come down right at the goal line and bounce into play at the 5-yard line, and the return is on from there up to the 20, and he's going to go backwards. Finally brought down around the 17-yard line of the Texas Herd. That's a really good tackle out there. First initial guy on the stop was number 37.
Yeah, that's David Leach, coach, and we saw him fly up the middle in some of those defensive sets, but he's making a big impact here on special teams. I love the pursuit, and I like the open field tackling, pinning the Herd back and making them sort of work for the extra yardage. Again, let's see what our defensive front can, has in store for us on this series.
Well, you're going to have number 33, Dominic Oliver, out there, and you got to keep eyes on him because he is full go.
He was definitely a force in that syndicate game. Him and Praise on the other side. Looks like Kajagal's spelling Praise right now, but I look forward to those guys causing some havoc outside in.
Number 15, is that Kajagal?
It is, yes.
Okay. Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. Split backfield, 2-by-2 set. Takes the snap, looks to throw, being pressured, shoots up, has a man at the 30. At the 35, is going to spin out of a tackle at the 40. Going to have a gain of about 20 yards on the play. A good little delay right there by the inside slot receiver.
Yeah,
good looking play.
You could park a cruise ship in that hole in the zone. Not quite sure if that was a blown coverage or they just found that soft spot, but either way, that defense needs to step up and read those guys attacking those holes.
Well, it's a cover 2 zone, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. The inside backers, both of the inside backers stepped up because the quarterback looked like he was going to take it right up the middle, left the void right in the middle of the zone. Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line, takes the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out there. It's going to be, almost picked off by number 17, and that's going to be Kobe Calvin.
In the middle of the play again, but arguably should have had that one, Coach.
Kobe Calvin had it in his hands, and he was looking at the goal line. Fundamentals, Mike.
Yep. I mean, he was right in the path. I mean, I don't know who the quarterback was throwing it to. It was definitely a white jersey, but, got to get those paws and clamp that down and bring that back the other way if you're Calvin.
Absolutely. Here we go. The quarterback brings him to the line, 3-by-1 set, running back flank to his left. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw. He's being pressured. He shoots it out there. Number 5 and number 82 and 15 are on the stop for the Black Gold.
Yeah, that's JoJo Pace making the play outside in from the, I guess, the safety position. And again, it looks like he had to check down, Coach, and the pursuit came from all angles. I like the defensive pursuit on that one and bringing him down to the turf.
It's really good hustle by number 82, the big defensive tackle, as he was in on the stop. He rushed from the inside, had the high motor to get to the boundary to make the stop.
That's Will Green out of the University of Nevada, 6'5", 295. Definitely putting in some work and hustling, behind the play to make that tackle.
A titan of a man for sure. Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. 3-by-1 set. Running back flank to his left. Takes the snap. Oliver pressing in the backfield, and it's going to be picked up. Oh, and dropped. And that's our man right there from last week, number 8.
Lindsey. Lindsey making the play again, but he can't. He makes the acrobatic plays, but the ones that fall in his lap, they're a little slippery. Definitely should have been a turnover. It does bring up 4th down here, but man, he had nothing but daylight in front of him.
4th and 6, as he did have a man wide open at the sticks. He overshot him. Lindsey was playing behind him and dropped the football. Well, we have 2 drop pick sixes on this drive alone. One for Calvin and one for Lindsey. Fundamentals, Mike.
Yep. I still like the defense making the plays, Coach, but when you have the opportunity to turn the ball over and get it back into your offensive hands, again, we talk about controlling the clock, controlling the game flow. That's a way to get the ball out of the Herd's hands and give your offense that opportunity.
You got to catch the ball before you can run with it. It's going to be another timeout on the play from the Herd, facing a 4th and 6 from their own 44-yard line. This is their second timeout of the half, and like you explained, it's their only they don't have any more timeouts. That's it.
No more timeouts for the first half. They'll have one in the third quarter and then one in the fourth quarter Continental shift. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds. You're watching Black Gold Football, brought to you by JMR Services. So, Coach, we talked about controlling the trenches a lot in the pregame show. Offensively, we've already talked a little bit about what they can improve on. What are your thoughts about what you're seeing from our defensive front here in the first quarter?
Well, they're controlling the line of scrimmage like they have the first 4 games of the season. I think the only game that we didn't really do a great job of doing that was last weekend against the Toros. All the other games, they've really gotten after the quarterbacks, starting with Dominic, Oliver, and Amuwali. Praise Amuwali. Here we go. They're going to go for it. Quarterback brings them to the line, 2-by-2 set. Running back flank to the left. Takes the snap. He's being rushed by Oliver. He's still on the move, looking for something. He's going to be brought down in the backfield by Oliver. We do have a flag down, and I bet it's a hold on the Herd.
Yeah, Oliver looked like he had a free shot, and I did see that flag come in from the back. I guess it was from the umpire or the ref. Let's see what the call is.
Dominic Oliver chased the quarterback down all the way on the other side of the field and brought him down in the backfield for a sack. Turns it over on down is the bigger deal, as the Black Gold will take over at the 39-yard line of the Herd.
Well, indirectly, we got our turnover, I suppose.
Yes, but whenever you can have a turnover plus points, that's when, that's really what you really want.
And, Coach, we had 2 opportunities on that series for sure.
There were 2 pick sixes that you have to catch before you can run with. Here we go. Goodman brings us to the line. It's going to be a 2-by-2 set. takes a snap, shoots it out there. It's going to be picked off at the 40, and the return is still on from there to the 50. Still on his feet, making moves, and gets all the way down to the 40-yard line of the Black Gold.
Coach,
Well,
yeah. We talk about fundamentals, man. You know, if you could forgive a defensive back for not clamping it down, but a wide receiver touches his hands and it goes up in the air, it's almost a surefire pick.
That was intended for number 13, Gonzalez.
Yeah, he was reliable in that syndicate second half with Goodman, so they've been working on a little bit of a repertoire. But I mean, it was tight coverage. I saw him trying to thread that needle in there, but again, the rule of thumb, it touches the receiver's hands. I mean, he's got to come down with it, especially if you can't make the play, don't pop it in the air like that. So obviously, it wasn't intentional, but nonetheless, it is a turnover for Goodman.
Absolutely. I saw a little bit of a lazy route on there. He took off real slow, and then whenever you take off, your first couple of steps are going to be real slow like that. The defender is going to close on you. He's not going to take back steps. That's what happened, right? Let's see. Big number 22 for the Black Gold.
Trying to get a name for you, Coach. I don't think he was on our roster when we were given the sheet. Might be Scott Walker, the defensive end.
Yes, I don't have him down either.
Yeah, we have him listed as number 38. Maybe switch to 22.
Nevertheless, quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to step up and run, trying to get the outside. He's going to get all the way down to our 33-yard line, call it the 34. It's going to face a third down and manageable, about 4 yards.
Quarterback making plays with his legs. I guess we're going to see this on both sides of the ball. We'll see what the defense can do here, third and short. But, I think they need another big stop, and we're calling on them once again to fix some of the errors of the offense.
Absolutely. Praise Amuwale is now in the game. As we need a big play from Praise or Oliver. 6-0 is the count. 5 minutes and 55 seconds and counting left in the first quarter. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the big running back around the right-hand side, looking for some room. He's going to be brought down by number 22 and number 0, Praise Amuwale, short of the first down. They stopped him in the game.
Good pursuit of the ball. And again, that's the D-line. We keep calling out the numbers of the D-line. They're not only making plays up the middle. Obviously a quarterback scramble out of the pocket can't really do much, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the pursuit inside out for them chasing down these ball handlers if they make it outside the pocket.
Absolutely. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, split backfield, takes a snap. This is going to be a fourth down play. Hands the ball off right up the middle. It's nothing doing. Going to stop them in the backfield for a yard loss, and the Black Gold's going to hold. Take over on downs.
Another big play, Coach. Another big defensive stand by that defense. And that, again, it looks like that one is Will Green. Big dominant force there in the middle. Again, I'm going to credit the D-line here on this opening quarter, for doing anything we can do defensively. Secondary miscues, not taking advantage of some of those interception opportunities, but the D-line has definitely stepped it up.
Well, big Will Green is a titan of a person. Standing at
absolutely. We're gonna step aside as they're doing some fan interaction at the stadium. back at the stadium. Black Gold offense getting the ball back from the turnover on downs that their defense provided once again, Coach. I know we ran to the air last time. I'd like to see some ground game established here on this possession, especially, towards the end of the first quarter. Let's let the receivers get their legs under them a little bit, break that open, maybe develop more spacing on those routes with some play action later, but let's get something going on the ground.
Well, the big offensive line that they have, and I mean they're big. I see some big men out there. You would think it's a given that we could lean on them. Here we go. Goodman brings them to the line, 2x2 set. Takes a snap, shoots it out there on a stop route. It's going to be knocked down. One of the defensive ends, number 51, the Texas Herd got up there, climbed the ladder, and knocked it down. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Black Gold with 4 minutes and 53 seconds left in the first quarter. 6-0, Black Gold on top. Goodman brings them to the line, another 2x2 set. Going to take the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out here. And it's going to be in and out of the receiver's hands. That's going to be number 3, Joe Levet.
Coach, it looks like they had 2 receivers in the area. I'm not sure if there was a miscue. I don't even know who that one was for.
Both of them were running stop routes, and they were really running really shallow stop routes right at the line of scrimmage. That really wasn't going to go anywhere if it was completed at all. Here we go. 3rd down and 10 for the Black Gold from the 35-yard line of the Black Gold. Goodman brings them to the line, 2x2 set. Johnson flanked to his left, takes the snap, looks to throw, looking, shoots it out there, has the time.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that was going to be any worthwhile of yardage anyway. I mean, he looks like it bounced off his hands about 3 yards down from the line of scrimmage.
He was running an out route, and he was running out of real estate. He wasn't going to get the first down if he would have caught it. You are tremendously right.
Yeah, and I asked for running plays, and we got 3 passes. So, clearly different type of game plan. But nonetheless, if we're going to work on some timing routes with these receivers, we got to get it going with Goodman.
Elijah Roundtree, the intended wide receiver. There we go. Wow. Going to have a delay of game on the Black Gold. And, we were going to kick it away anyways, but you still don't like to see that.
I mean, those are simple plays that you just got to manage with the clock. I know Riedel has a leg, but still.
Here we go. The snap is back. The kick is away, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to turn over and bound inside of the Herd's 30-yard line, going to be down at the 26. 1st and 10 for the Herd from their own 26-yard line. A really good punt that flipped the field.
Really good punt. And, again, Riedel coming through, bailing out the offense and giving the defense a little bit of space to work with. We'll see if we can call on the defense once again for another big play. But offensively, Coach, I mean, we're sort of swimming in the same circles we've been talking about for the first 2 weeks here.
Absolutely. Been a theme all year long, the offensive inability to maintain control of the football and establish efficient drives down the field. And
what are you liking what do you see out of the Herd? Sorry, Coach.
Well, I mean, the quarterback is, they're just going to snap it to him and really run routes behind him. And he's either going to find a guy downfield or he's going to take off running. And it's really presenting a problem for us because the teams that we've had trouble with have done that to us all year long. But here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-2 set, 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Takes the snap, going to hand the ball off to the running back, looking for some room. He's going to be jitterbugging out there, and he's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe give him a yard.
Another great defensive pursuit from inside out.
Absolutely. That's going to be number 14 that brings him down for maybe a half yard on the play.
Yeah, that was Adewuze, but we saw Dominique Oliver coming from the inside. There was nowhere for that running back to go at that point.
Dominic Oliver and Praise Amuwali have switched. Praise is at the bottom of the screen, number 0, and Oliver at the top of the screen, number 33. You got to keep an eye on them. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. Split backfield, 2-by-1 set. Going to take the snap. Looks to throw. Going to step up in the pocket. Has a man at the 50, and it's going to be incomplete. They're going to throw a flag for not looking back.
Yeah, he didn't look back, Coach. And again, if he had, I don't think it would have been a flag, but he was playing the man too deep into the route, and the ref's going to call that every time.
Absolutely. That's going to be on Brandon Guzman, number 23 for the Black Gold.
Yeah, it looks like he got beat a little bit, and, in his attempt to recover, he did the right thing. When he started to see that the receiver was putting his hands up to catch the ball, he threw his hands up to break up the pass, but in the process sort of ran into him. Yep. And again, if he was looking back, Coach, I don't think that's a flag.
Absolutely. You gotta be sound in the fundamentals, especially at that position where you're all on an island by yourself. He kind of panicked instead of looking back. He just pretty much face shielded him, and it turned out to be a penalty. In the pro game, that's a big penalty because it's a spot foul. Here we go. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Herd. The ball's going to be marked at the 37-yard line of the Black Gold. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, a split backfield. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out there. Prime position on the play by number 8. That's good coverage as he's actually –
yeah, it looked like he was stride for stride with him. Didn't get beat deep and, sort of forced that play outside in. And the pass was just – it almost looked like a chuck over the shoulder to see if he could, sort of catch up to that rainbow pass.
Looked like it was predetermined that he was going to take a shot down the right-hand side.
And we saw that from the Herd in that first game. That's how they got a couple big completions. So, going back to that same playbook, I'd be leery about going back to Jamison Lindsey's side, though.
He's a ball hawk for sure. Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Quarterback takes the snap, shoots it out there to the running back on a swing pass, and they're going to be all over him in the backfield. That's number 17, Colby Calvin, for the big stop.
Great open field tackle there. And again, that's our monster back, right? He has the ability to step up and play that linebacker role, which he kind of did in this case, reading the running back and stepping up. And then, he also has the ability to cover. Not quite catch the ball. We saw that earlier in this quarter where he had literally an interception on his lap, couldn't squeeze it. But I love the open field tackle there on that swing pass to the running back.
Absolutely. There we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. It's going to be a 3-by-1 set. Running back flanked to his left. 3rd down and 14 coming. The line to gain is the 26-yard line of the Black Gold. Takes the snap. Praise Amuwali's all over him in the backfield. Shoots it down the field. Has a man. And he does not have a man. He broke it off. He actually broke it off.
That was Praise with the pressure. Forced the quarterback to sort of dance around in the pocket. I thought he was actually going to run it. Took a couple steps back and tried to throw it deep. And I guess his receiver just either didn't, he stopped running the route or there was just a miscommunication at that point. But Praise disrupting the offensive flow from that defensive end position again.
Absolutely. The wide receiver broke it off because the defensive back was on top of him. So he tried to break the route off short, and by that time it was already in the air, the ball. Here we go. Looks like they're going to punt it away on a 4th down and 15. The Texas Herd trying to play field position. The last punt they had, Joe Levette broke it deep on them.
Watch the fake here, Coach.
The snap is back. The rush is on. The punt is away. It's a high one, and it's going to be a fair catch. And he called a fair catch, but it's going to bound inside of the 5-yard line. It's going to come down around the 6. A good, great punt.
Great
the
punt
punter.
and a low snap. And,
Yes.
you know, again, we couldn't really get there even after the low snap. It's kind of surprising they went for it, considering they went for a couple 4th downs before on their own side of the field. You know, now they had the field position on the black gold side of the field, and they decided to punt it and pin them deep. But, you know, again, when the offense is moving the way we have been, you know, maybe it's a field position game.
I think there was a penalty, and they're going to make them re-kick it.
What was the call?
It was a legal formation. A legal formation. I guess 5 men in the backfield on the Texas Herd, and they're going to have to punt it over again. A great punt by the Herd, spoiled by a bad penalty. Not lining up right.
And, Coach, we saw penalties be a huge problem for the Herd in that first game here in Midland. I believe the Herd had, you know, I think they had a penalty almost on every series at one point. But they had, I believe it was 20 penalties throughout the game, something crazy like that.
Absolutely. I mean, they're really short on the roster. These guys are coming out and playing Iron Man ball against us. And it is warm down there. Here we go. The snap is back. The kick is up in the air. It's a high one. Joe Levette's going to just bypass it. And it's going to come down around the 1-yard line, at the 2-yard line, and they're going to down it at the 3. My goodness, they gained a couple of yards off of that. What a punt again.
Maybe that's part of the game plan, Coach. Like, you get a penalty, you kick it again, you gain 4 yards on the punt coverage. What a kick.
They netted 2 on that because it was the original one was down at the 6, and now they're going to be at the 4 of the Tall City Black Gold. 1 minute and 59 seconds left in the first quarter. 6-0 is the count. Black Gold on top.
Well, I mean, I asked for it last series. I don't think we have a choice on this one. We're going to see some running plays here deep in our own zone. Looks like some personnel confusion, so I think we got that all squared up now. But I would expect a running game here.
1,000%. 1,000%. I think you're going to see the ball we're going to take the air out of it and try to get some yardage. Here we go. Big number 18 and Johnson are in the backfield. Goodman takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the bowling ball. No, he keeps it around the left-hand side. Looking for a man. Shoots it out there. Has a man wide open. And it's going to be completed at the 40 and brought down at the 49-yard line of the Black Gold. That's going to be number 11 on the reception.
That's Rodney Pierre, Coach, a new pickup by the Black Gold, 6'4", 215 out of Virginia State University, making a big presence and filling in some of those shoes of the wide receiver position that we were lacking over the last couple of weeks. Big play out of our own end zone right there.
Absolutely. A lot of, what do they say, those a lot of those big ones right there on that play for the play caller. Calling that play all the way back to our 4-yard line.
Well, the play action caught me too. I thought it was a handoff to Samuel.
I thought the big guy was going to take it. Here we go. Split backfield, 2-by-1 set. Quarterback brings him to the line. Goodman takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off. No, he keeps it around the right-hand side. Shoots it out there. Has a man at the 30. Turns on the speed at the 20. He's going to jog into the end zone. That's going to be number 12 for the Black Gold.
Yeah, that's Roundtree, Elijah Roundtree. You know, we've called his number a couple times, and you know that's all Goodman. I love it's sort of like an RPO. You put the ball in the belly of the running back, generate some reads, pull it out and then make a decision from that point. But he was wide open down that seam, and good for Goodman to spot him. I mean, during that syndicate game in the second half, he did have Roundtree in the back of the end zone. I don't know if you remember, Coach, he overshot him, and it really cost us a big touchdown at a big point. So glad to see them sort of link up in that particular play.
Hello?
We are here.
Here we go. Lined up for the PAT. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's good. Your score with 48 seconds left in the first quarter. The Tall City Black Gold 13. The Texas Herd 0.
And we'll be right back.
I'll have the burger. Actually, I'll have the chicken.
I feel like everyone's looking at us.
Told you that barber was legit.
And Coach, we're back as they're going to line up for the kickoff. I mean, Elijah Roundtree has done a lot for this team. In practice, he's a leader on that team as well. And, just seeing him come through on a big play like that, getting the credit and getting him on the scoreboard, I think that's huge for him, and it's huge for this this offense that we've seen struggle, not only the last 2 weeks, but in the first quarter here alone. They are leading 13-0, and we're seeing good things out of Goodman. But I think it was more important that Elijah Roundtree got into the mix and onto the scoreboard as well.
A lot of short passes dropped earlier in the first couple of drives. That and in a probably 3/4 of football has been the best pass that we've seen Trey Goodman deliver, and that was a bullet right in the hole of the cover 2 zone. Here we go. The kick is away. Godin boots it high, and it's going to come down in the end zone, out of the zone, and they're going to spot the ball around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall the pass but the play itself too. I mean, they're showing a lot of these play action without establishing the running game, and that's what I guess you have with big running backs in the mix. But I like the decision making of what we're seeing out of Goodman. Again, sticking that ball in the belly of the running back, pulling it back after a particular read, and then finding that open receiver. I also want to credit the route running on that one compared to what we saw on a couple earlier drives. It looks like, they got the message and they weren't so confused about, clamping or cramping up some of those receivers in the same pockets, opening up some of those wide receiver patterns and finding that open grass to find the pass.
They're going to spot the ball at the 35 as it was kicked out of the zone. And I'm with you. Anytime you run the play action, the ball in the belly, here's what happens. It's natural human reactions of a natural football player will take over. And as he sees that, the linebackers, the second level, will step up to play the run. It's great fakes. It's not just good fakes. He's leaving it in there, and he's pulling it at the last second and looking like the running back has the ball going downhill. It's a really good scheme that we're watching early, and they're finding something with it, and I like it. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. Looks like they're going to have too many men. Oh, they're going to have a delay of game on the Texas Herd.
And, Coach, we saw this countless times in that week 1 preseason game. They couldn't get themselves to manage the play clock. The fourth quarter Continental shift, I understand. They move it from 40 seconds to 20 seconds. But here we are at the end of the first quarter.
Yes, we saw this the last game. It got a little sloppy, but then we let them off the hook. We have got to clamp down on them right here and take all of their heart and soul from them. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 3-by-1 set. Takes a snap. Going to head around the right-hand side. It's just a direct snap. They're going to have them in the backfield and bring them down. That's going to be number 22.
That's Scott Walker. That's Scott Walker, Coach. And again, one of the things that we can criticize the Black Gold defensive front with over the last couple weeks was contain, and doing a great job on that one, not letting the running back out of the pocket.
Absolutely. Just a direct snap, single wing type play. The quarterback took it around the right-hand side, tried to get the edge, and big number 22, Scott Walker, ran him down. That's going to be the end of the first quarter with your score, the Tall City Black Gold 13 and the Texas Herd 0.
You're watching Tall City Black Gold Football, brought to you by JMR Services.
Introducing new frosted sodas and floats. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Everybody come clap your hands. Or don't you know when you dance, you've got to smile or you can't cry. Try it a while, you'll be surprised.
Float,
Baby,
pop, spin, and slide like an original. The original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats. Only at Chick-fil-A.
It's a Mexican treat, Jumborito. What a fun place to eat, Jumborito. No one makes them bigger or cooks them better than burritos at Jumborito.
A tasty treat, Jumborito.
And good lean meat, Jumborito. Morning, noon, or night, any time is right for a Mexican treat, Jumborito.
And we are back for the start of the second quarter. Black Gold in control here, 13-0. Let's see if we can get a defensive stand and get that ball back pretty quick after that touchdown from Goodman to Roundtree.
Absolutely. This is where we got to just keep the clamps down on them and end the game. The last time we played against this team, made it a ball game the whole game because we just did not execute offensively. You kind of get the feeling that that's fixing to flip with Trey Goodman getting some really good reps out here and getting some confidence going with his wide receivers.
And Coach, we're sort of in that danger zone of our Achilles heel over the last couple of weeks in this second quarter. I'd like us to finish this quarter strong, head into halftime with some confidence, and try to close out the game heading into the second half here. But as we start the second quarter, Herd have the ball.
For sure, I want to see a 27-0, 34-0 type game headed into the half. That would be ideal for us, and I think we can accomplish that. Here we go. The quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, wing to the left. No, we're going to have a 3-by-1 set. Quarterback takes the snap, hands the ball off to the running back around the left-hand side. He's going to have hands all over him. That's going to be big. Number 82, assisted by number 6 and 37.
Those are our two linebackers and Will Green off the edge in the middle. He's been playing a lot of D-tackle with, our bigger guys on the edge. He's listed as a defensive end, but he definitely has the capabilities of playing inside. And I like our linebackers stepping up, making big plays. That's David Leach and Whiteside. Our two cementers in the middle of the field there.
Absolutely. Both of them are pretty well put together young men. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 3-by-1 set. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. The pressure is on. And that's going to be big. Praise Amuwale for a big-time sack in the backfield as he jumped on the quarterback, number 10. That's going to be a loss of 7 yards.
Big play from Praise there. And, if we could start ramping up some of that pressure outside in, Coach, if what we're seeing out of, Will Green up the middle in that defensive line, again, all defensive line here in the first half for the Black Gold defense, But, you know, Prey's coming through, making a huge play off the edge there and, you know, just beating the tackle from the snap of the ball.
Absolutely. 4th down and 28 officially, unofficially. 4th and 28 coming for the Herd.
Punter had a great kick last time. Let's see if he can save the Herd on this possession.
The wind is blowing in, though, so it's going to be in his face. It's blowing from south to north, so he's going to be facing a little bit of a wind out here. It's picked up. The snap is back. It's a high one. He does a great job by bringing it down and gets a good kickoff, and Joe Levette's going to let it bounce. It's going to bounce all the way inside of the 40-yard line. That's a great punt by the punter, all the way down to the 35. What a punt by that punter.
I don't know how we didn't get there, Coach. It looked like we had 3 guys off that left edge.
We at least had 2 of them. We at least had 2, and he got that away, and he just didn't get it away. He got a great punt out of it.
And it was a high snap, so he's making things happen with, you know, with little to work with off the snap of the ball, and then obviously the pressure coming through off the left edge. It's a great punt from deep in his own territory for sure.
11 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first half. Your score. There's a timeout on the field by the Black Gold. With 11:56 left in the first half, your score, the Tall City Black Gold 13, the Texas Herd 0.
All right. Well, I mean, clearly the Black Gold wanted to discuss some stuff here, Coach. You know, opening minutes of the second half, defense makes a big play. You know, your offense has decent field position, you know, obviously made possible by that great punt by the Herd's punter. You know, what do you expect from the offense here after a pretty dominant series the last time they had the ball?
I expect them to keep throwing the football. I think they have a feeling of being able to push this Herd team around on the ground, and they wouldn't really get any quality reps out of that because they're not really going against a team that can give them a little bit of a fight back. So I think that's what you're fixing to see. You're going to see them trying to get those quality reps through the air to try to settle Trey down for the rest of the season in league play. Goodman brings them to the line, 2-by-1 set. Takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off right up the middle, and that's going to be the big bruiser, number 2, Josh King Bradley.
Yeah, we've seen what he can do at the running back position and at the defensive line position. So he is sort of a two-way player. You know, definitely making something out of nothing on that one for sure.
Some cross-buck action going on right there with that split backfield. Some misdirection. I like it.
Yeah, I like them to mix in some of this running game too. We still have to establish ourselves and get some reps on the ground. I'd like to see this O-line start moving the piles down the field and open up some of those lanes for the running backs to find them.
Dominic Oliver has checked in at tight end to the right. Here we go. Takes a snap. Goodman drops back, looking to throw. Reverses out, still looking. Shoots it. Has a man right open, and it's going to be picked off at the 40-yard line. Probably shouldn't have thrown that ball. The return is still on up to the 48-yard line. Going to be brought down there.
Yeah, Coach, that was right into double coverage. Not quite sure what Trey was thinking there. That was one of those that he should have actually pulled down and run. He spun out of that pressure pretty nicely. You know, I don't want to say he had the biggest lane, but he definitely shouldn't have made a pass like that.
You really never want to throw it 2-on-1. And he did, and he'll learn. You can't do that at the professional ranks. 1st and 10 for the Texas Herd, trailing 13-0 with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half.
Calling on the defense once again to keep the clean sheet here.
really has been a staple of the season. Really have kept teams in the ball games with mistakes, playing against them and playing against ourselves. And you just really can't do that. Wow. They're going to be a delay of a game on the Texas Herd again.
Yeah, they just
off of a turnover.
They just can't seem to get the plays in on time after the ball is set. I don't know if it's a personnel thing or if the plays are just not coming in from the sideline.
On that particular play, it was a personnel thing. One of the guards was out, and they brought a skill player in to take his spot, and he didn't know where to line up. They're extremely shorthanded. I think they have maybe 15 players. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line, 2-by-2 set. Takes the snap. Going to head around the left-hand side looking for room. He's not going to get any. And that's going to be big. Will Green with the stop.
Yeah, we've called his number quite a few times in this half, Coach, and he's, again, making things happen in the middle of that defensive line.
Number 82, the mountain of a man that is Will Green with the stop. No gain on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 15. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the half. 13-0 is the count. You kind of get a feeling that the air is really run loose on this Texas Herd team. It's just our opportunity to go snatch it from them, and we're not really wanting to do it so far. Quarterback shoots it out there looking for a man. It's going to be incomplete at the 40-yard line. Going to be broken up. That's going to be number 23 for the Texas Herd. I mean, for the Black Gold. Check that.
Yeah, that's Brandon Guzman, but still, again, Coach, I'm giving the credit to the D-line on that one. That was Praise and Dominique Oliver both off the edge, sealing the deal, and really forcing that pass up, I think, a little quicker than they anticipated.
Absolutely. The two bookends getting in the backfield and meeting at the quarterback at the same time. Here we go. 3rd down and 15 coming. They don't have any timeouts left, so they better get the play in. Play clock is a-rolling.
Yeah, they're taking a long time.
7 minutes and 40. They surely are. 15 seconds left on the play clock, so they still have a little bit of time. They got to get to moving and lining up. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Quarterback takes the snap. Shoots it out here. Has a man wide open at the 40-yard line. Shakes a tackle. Gets up to the 45. He's going to be pushed backwards. He's going to have forward progress stopped at the 45-yard line of the Herd. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 12.
Yeah, that was a little team effort tackle in the open field there. That was Ajay and Jamison Lindsay both not letting the receiver go through. Again, just sort of a desperate pass out into the wing just to try to get something moving offensively, but it is 4th down, and we'll see what the Herd do here. They went for it in this sort of field position in the first quarter. Let's see if they elect to go for it or if they're going to rely on their punter. It looks like their punter's coming out.
The punter has shown to be one of the best players that they have. They're going to rely on him to try to pin the Black Gold deep. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left and counting in the first half. 13-0 is the count. Tall City Black Gold on top. Just taking forever to get the play in, and it's a punt.
Yeah, again,
I think it's more personnel. Right. 5 seconds left on the play clock. The snap is back. The kick is away, and he barely got it away. It's a great one, high up in the sky. Joliet catches it at the 15. The return is on from there to the 30. Makes a move at the 40. Still on his feet. Shakes a tackle and gets all the way up to the 45 of the Black Gold before he's brought down. A great open field tackle.
Yeah, it was a great return by Joe Levette. It looks like he sort of let his blockers in front of him form and then found a couple seams. But, Coach, we were maybe a half a step away from blocking that kick again.
We're getting closer. He's the punters. He just has this uncanny ability to get that ball off and really get a good boot into it under pressure, under duress, and maybe we're going to catch him one time in this ball game. We'll catch up to it. We're just a hair short of him right now, but we're going to get there. It looks like.
Yeah, so long as we keep that direct path the way we need to, and make sure we don't run into him, because as you pointed out, he does have the ability to get rid of it. Looks like we have a timeout on the field. We're gonna step aside here as the Black Gold offense comes back out.
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
And we're back from the official timeout.
Back to play. Goodman brings them to the line. 2x2 set. Goodman takes a snap, looks to throw, shoots it across the middle. It's going to be completed to number 12. No, check that, number 10 for the Black Gold.
That's another new receiver we got, Coach. That's Joe Boykin out of Atlanta, Georgia, 6'2", 185, looking to make his mark on this Black Gold offense.
Going to be a gain of around 5 yards. No, check that. It's going to be a first down. It's going to be a 11-yard gain. Here we go. Goodman takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off to Johnson right around the right-hand side. He's going to go all the way up the middle and be contacted around the 30-yard line. Going to be brought down around the 31 of the Texas Herd.
Solid run there. Tried to hurdle the defender. Came up a little short on it, but I like the effort and definitely moving the sticks.
Gain of 12 on first down. Going to bring up another first down and 10 for the Black Gold. They're on the move. Goodman brings them to the line. 2x2 set. It's going to be number 21, Johnson, flanked to his right. Goodman takes a snap, looks to throw, looking. They're going to get to him in the backfield and bring him down for a sack.
That's a coverage one there, Coach. It looks like he was trying to time it up after the receiver, was already sort of covered up, maybe trying to find some of that empty space on the grass, but you can't wait too long in the pocket without moving around in there.
You really want to see him right there use his feet, use them legs, and take advantage of them, that dual threat capability that he has. When the internal clock is running down, you got to have one. That quarterback intuition has to kick in. Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line, a 2x2 set. Johnson flanked to his right. Goodman takes a snap, looks to throw, shoots it out to the right-hand side. He's going to overshoot his intended wide receiver. That's going to be number 10. Check that, number 11 for the Black Gold.
Yeah, just mistimed the pass to Pierre there. That's, Goodman shown some of those errored passes that usually end up in the lap of the defenders. That one just sort of ended up in no man's land. But, again, that's a timing thing, man. You got to hit those on the outside, especially if he's as open as Pierre was on that.
Absolutely. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half. 13-0 is the count. The Black Gold on the move. Third down and 12 coming up. Goodman takes a snap, looks to throw, has a man, shoots it at the sticks, and it's going to be shot just a little bit outside of his arm. The stretch of the intended wide receiver, that's going to be Pierre again, number 11. He just a little
open.
Yes, he's just missing these balls a little bit. I think he's just a little bit shaken by them picks that he's thrown. It's imperative that he just doesn't lose all his wits about him.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to swing it on the outside there, and I guess Pierre was looking for it inside. But either way, I mean, the defender was 7 yards away from him.
It's a timing stop route, and the guy's wide open at the sticks. You really got to put it in his and right in his numbers, you know.
Yep, and we are at the 2-minute warning. We're going to step aside. Looks like we're lining up for a Godina kick.
It's going to be a 47-yard field goal.
Check that 52-yard field goal attempt.
52. Here we go, Godina. The snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up. And it's true. There you go, your new score with 1 minute and 42 seconds left in the first half. The Tall City Black Gold, 16. The Texas Herd, 0. What a great kick.
And we talked about that leg that Godina has and the trust that Coach Blackshear has in that leg. Sort of sailed wide left on that extra point attempt after that first touchdown. But we definitely seen what he's able to do throughout this season. Given the opportunity, I mean, he needs to continue to put points on the board where the offense can't. And on that drive, we saw a lot of miscues, mostly on Goodman and some of those timing routes with those receivers, but still able to get points on the board. I mean, again, from an offensive perspective, we chalk that up sort of as a win here.
A 52-yard field goal, little wind-aided out here. Nevertheless, had leg for at least a 60-yarder.
And he did have that 64-yard attempt in San Antonio last week. Again, did come up a little short. He had the wind to his back. It looked like it was a little wide left, too. But again, confidence in the coaching staff to give the kicker that, that type of opportunity in that situation.
Absolutely.
So, Coach, we're winding down the end of the first half here. And again, like sort of what I'm seeing in this 5 minutes to end the first half than the first two games for sure. What are some of your takeaways as they're lining up for this kickoff?
Well, this game, we haven't fallen apart at the end of the half, knock on wood, because we still got 1 minute and 21 seconds left. But we've been much better of closing the half, it looks like. Hope we can keep the clean sheet all the way through. The kick is away. It's going to come down in the end zone outside of the zone. So they're going to have it at the 35-yard line. We're finishing the half a little bit better. I'm not totally enthused about it. I mean, I think we should have a couple of more touchdowns on the board. But we haven't given up anything, and that's been the bigger part of it. The last couple of weeks, we've given touchdowns up, and that's really changed the course of the game.
Yeah, we have not taken care of the ball at all, and we've given up a lot of late points at the end of each respective half. In those first two games, for me, like the takeaway here in the first half has been missed opportunities. And, I know it's sort of negative to say it like that, but, we've had a couple, interceptions that, sort of landed on our laps and didn't come through, and again, some bigger plays, I guess, in the running game that could have been broken out both by Goodman and the running backs. So I hope those are things that they take into the locker room and try to chalk up different strategies in the second half here.
Absolutely. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line, 2-by-2 set, takes the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out there, had a hold on that left tackle. He just grabbed Praise. His Praise is over there complaining to the white hat. He just grabbed him, turned him all the way around, and Praise is a big old guy to grab. The left tackle managed it. Anyways, amounts to nothing. 2nd down and 10 coming with 58 seconds left in the half. The Texas Herd are facing a 2nd down and 10, trailing by 16. really not in no particular hurry. They're in hurry to get to the halftime, it looks like. Here we go. The quarterback brings them to the line, a 2-by-2 set. Running back flank to his left. Takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket. Eluding rushers. Shoots it downfield, looking for a man, and it's going to be, oh, my goodness, a lot of contact down there at the 20-yard line. Is going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, I think both receiver and defensive back were jostling for position on a ball that was clearly thrown way out of bounds. So not kind of like
I think that's why you didn't.
Sorry, Coach, what you were saying?
That's why you didn't see the yellow flag come out. I believe that's why we didn't see the yellow flag. That's going to be the end of the first half. With your score, the Tall City Black Gold 16 and the Texas Herd 0.
You're watching Tall City Black Gold Football, brought to you by JMR Services.
It's a Mexican treat, Jumborito. What a fun place to eat, Jumborito. No one makes them bigger or cooks them better than burritos at Jumborito.
A tasty treat, Jumborito.
And good lean meat, Jumborito. Morning, noon, or night, anytime is right for a Mexican treat, Jumborito.
Diamondback's kind of the poster child for the shale revolution. You know, we started in 2012. We went public with 3,000 barrels a day of production, and now here we are doing 900,000 barrels a day of production. We continue to look for ways to grow the business organically and inorganically, like we've done over the last decade and a half. Diamondback's core business is nothing more complicated than converting rock into cash flow. We own about 800,000 acres worth of leases in the Permian Basin, all based in Texas. We've grown significantly over the last 15 years. Started with almost nothing, about 30,000 acres, and now here we are today at a differential size and scale. The differentiator for us has been our ability to convert that rock into cash flow at cheaper prices and cheaper cost structure than anybody else, which has allowed us to acquire a lot of assets and grow our oil production significantly. We estimate we're only getting about 10% out of the oil in place out of the ground today. Diamondback is kind of the poster child for this shale revolution in Texas, and that wouldn't be possible without free markets, capitalism, and a supportive regulatory environment in the state of Texas.
And we are at halftime. The Tall City Black Gold leading the Texas Herd 16-0. You know, our plays of the game so far, in the first quarter, we had Trey Goodman on a play action pass to number 22 Scott Walker for the first points of the game. Eddie Godina missed the extra point. And then later in the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, Goodman found Roundtree on a beautiful, sort of RPO play action pass, hit Roundtree in the back of the end zone, and then we capped it off with a 52-yard Eddie Godina field goal, brings us to 16-0. We're going to step aside and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about what we saw in that first half with Coach right after this.
Baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay.
And we are back at the stadium. Coach, want to get your take on what you saw in the first half. We talked about the little breakdown of points that the offense was able to put up. What are your overall observations, and what do you think they're talking about here in the locker room?
Well, we had some good things happen. We had some stuff that we've seen this whole year, and we definitely have to get. We have to have an identity. We have Trey Goodman back there at quarterback for us now. He is the man. They're going to roll with him. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do. If we're going to be a play action team, if we're going to be a run first team, if we're going to be a spread team. I'd like to see a little bit of identity coming out of the first half. I'd like to see us get we need to come out and get the first stop of the first half, because that's been a problem too this last two games. So I'd like to see us get the stop and get the ball and go run the ball. Let's run the ball. Let's see how we can impose our will, our size, and our physicality on them. Because to this point, Mike, we have not seen an identity. In all the games that we've played, we've been up and down, and we've shown flashes. I mean, that throw right there by Trey, that he hit the receiver in the hole, and we scored the touchdown on. That was off of a play action, and it was beautiful. But that's few and far between, and we haven't seen that enough. So we do need to see some consistency. We need to see an identity, and you would hope that they would try to come out there and do that the second half. That's mainly what we need to see, and we haven't seen it thus far this season.
No, and what we saw in that first half, Coach, everything sort of lives and dies with Goodman, right? The decisions he makes and, sort of how he executes some of those offensive plays. I'm with you. I'd like to see the ball spread out a little bit, particularly in the running game, give him sort of a breather and also start to identify a new identity that you just sort of pointed out. But, we talk about the O-line. For the most part, they've done a decent job about keeping him clean and not having him run around the pocket. But from a reps perspective, I'm with you. I want to see him get as many opportunities to try to find some consistency with these receivers. Figure out their route running tendencies and, figure out when to release that ball. But I also don't want him to lose the confidence like we saw late in that second quarter about trying to throw a pick and then sort of throwing behind the receiver when he's wide open or overshooting his receiver as he did on that same possession. We need consistency from him as well. And then the final point I'll make is if we're going to establish an RPO or some sort of an identity that it revolves around Trey and what his skill set entails, I'd really like to see him, hit the ground a little bit too, break that pocket, make something happen with his legs. Because again, that RPO becomes more dangerous if those linebackers have to, wait that extra second. Maybe it'll open up that second level zone, cushion for him to find some of those receivers coming over the middle of the field.
Absolutely. I'm with you on the whole bit that you just said. The whole bit. I would like to see him use his dual threat capability. That's one of the main reasons he is the guy that they chose to go with. He has that dimension to his game. We have not seen it thus far. When he does that, I bet you it works out for him. I think right now Trey wants to throw the ball to kind of prove to people, hey, I'm more than, just a guy that can run around. That's the best aspect of his game right now, is running around. I would like him to run around and make the defense step up, get eyes on him, and that'll help his receivers get wide open. And he'll be throwing to smaller the windows will be bigger. He won't throw his have a small window target that he'll have to hit. The radius of the catch will be bigger when he starts to scramble, starts to run, and starts to gain the respect of the defense in that matter. I'm with you. He needs to do that. A lot of times when you have a quarterback like this that can do both, they want to prove to everybody so much that they're a passing quarterback. We never said he's not, but the best part of his game right now is the running aspect, and he needs to take advantage of that to make the defense respect that, and that'll absolutely 1,000% help his game.
Yeah, and it'll open up the other aspects of the offense too, I feel. Maybe some of those swing out passes to those running backs. I mean, we got some pretty decent size in the running back, position. So we need to get the ball in their hands somehow. And again, if everything starts and stops with what Goodman can bring to the table, we're going to have to rely on him to either get it in their hands or, work in some of these RPOs where he actually does stick it in the belly and give it up to the running back. But again, if the hole's not there by the O-line, he's got to make that call on the play, on the fly, I should say. And, again, I'm not totally critiquing everything I've seen from him at that level right now. I do question some of those decisions, but I feel like when he has that opportunity to scramble, he's not taking it and he's forcing it. And when he has forced it, we've seen the turnovers. And that's the one piece of the puzzle that we just got to fix. We can't go into these last two league games heading into the tail end of the season and continue to turn the ball over like we have in these first three games now.
Can't do it. You can't win with it. You can't win like that. It just doesn't translate to winning football games. If he and I guarantee you, Mike, this is how it is with him. He's a quarterback, and he wants to show everybody the arm. That's what quarterbacks do. They throw the football down the field. Well, he has this unique ability to be able to run the football too. And instead of looking down on that, he needs to accept it and say, you know what, this is a vital part of my game that can make my passing game go to the next level. And I'm not lying. When I see him sitting in the pocket, if he'll just tuck it and go, the next time he's in the pocket, those guys will be really, really wary of him taking off, and it'll open up passing lanes down the field. That's what happens when you see Lamar Jackson and even Josh Allen to that extent. They're run for first quarterbacks early in their careers, and that's really helped them open up the passing lanes. And Trey's not unlike that. He needs to take advantage of the scramble ability that he has, the dual threat capability that he has. And sometimes the coaches can get that going with him by calling a couple of draws, right? Quarterback draws. Just get him out there on the loose and get him comfortable, so he can take advantage of that, and the passing game will come. It will come. But you got to do that first, just like you said.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're definitely singing the same tune. And, again, I'd love to see some of those quarterback draws. I mean, we saw that, pretty early on in the second half of that syndicate game when Trey came onto the field in the quarterback position, and he definitely had a lot of success with it. They called it a couple times on him. Didn't really see much of that called today. And again, maybe they don't want to get him hurt. Obviously, he is, the go-to quarterback for this team, heading down the stretch in the season here. So maybe you want to make sure that he does have some legs under him to carry this team offensively through those weeks. But you got to let the guy do what he does best, and having legs and moving in and out of the pocket, breaking the pocket and breaking those edges. I mean, we've seen what he's able to do with that.
Absolutely. Get up the field, and then get down before he gets touched. Get what he can get, and then get down. If he can do that a couple of times, it's going to really, really draw the ire of the defense, and he'll be thrown into big, huge passing lanes. Here we go. Godina tees it up, and we're ready to play football again. 16-0 is the count. Tall City on top as we start the second half. I'd like to see Godina pop this up and come down around the 5-yard line. Here we go. Tees it up, kicks it away, and it's going to fall short just at the 5-yard line. The return is on from there up to the 10. Makes a move at the 15, and it's going to be brought down around the 17-yard line of the Texas Herd.
He definitely heard you, Coach, from all the way up there. But, that ball landed right in the landing zone, which is kind of what you want to, see from a kicker of that accuracy and that magnitude. But, we see what happens. I mean, starting on the 17-yard line is much different from the 35.
Absolutely. It's a tremendously different way to call the game when you're the defensive coordinator. You can be a little bit more aggressive from this point of the field. And when you can be aggressive, you're giving your defense a chance to put points on the board. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-2 set. Running back flank to his right. 16-0 is the count. 1st and 10. Ball on the 17-yard line of the Herd. Takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the running back. Cuts it back. He's going to be brought down by number 8. Check that. That's going to be number 6.
Yeah, that's Justin Whiteside from Central Michigan. We called his number a few times today too, Coach. I mean, definitely making a presence here in the linebacker core. We're out, we don't have Alex Bolden in today, so it's really him and David Leach that are manning that second level for the defense.
Leach and Whiteside doing a tremendous job of patrolling the middle of the field. You got the big man, Big Will Green in the middle, eating up a lot of personnel. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-2 set. Praise Amyawali right on the bottom of the screen at the defensive end. Watch him. Takes a snap. Looks to throw. Shoots it out to the running back. It's going to be completed. Trying to move upfield, and he's going to be hit around the 20-yard line, taken out of bounds. It's going to be a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, it was Davia Jai on the tackle there. And yeah, you called out Praise's number. He almost got that big paw up there and knocked that pass down. But again, making a defensive presence, at that defensive line position. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he starts swatting those down, because we've seen him get very close, all the way through the first half here.
A good-looking defensive line of Green, Amuwale, Oliver, number 15. Don't have him on my depth chart. Quarterback takes a snap, shoots it out there. It's going to be incomplete, intended for number 2 for the Texas Bird.
Yeah, that was Praise getting his mid up there once again, throwing off the line of sight from the quarterback to the receiver. I mean, it's the tackles are having a real tough time manhandling him on the outside. And, it looks like they're trying to do these little one-step drop passes and these swing routes just to try to avoid some of that pressure that he's putting on the outside there.
Going to bring up a punting situation for the Herd. It's exactly what we talked about, what we needed to do to start the second half. Come out here, get a 3 and out, get the ball into our offense's hands, let Trey do his thing, and put this one on ice. Here we go. The punter gets a boot into it, and it's a good one. It's going to go all the way back to the 25-yard line, and the return is on from there, and that's going to be Joe Levitt all the way up to the 41-yard line of the Black City, of the Black Gold. Check that, Tall City Black Gold.
Yeah, it's hard to catch a punt moving backwards and try to make something out of that, right? He caught that, had to take about 3 yards of a step backwards just to sort of reset and get the acceleration back. Found a block or two and made, sort of something out of nothing. But, I mean, Coach, what a great punt by the Herd again.
Telling you, if Joe Levitt wouldn't have caught that football right there, that would have bounded all the way to around our 10-yard line or inside of our 10. That was a great job by Joe Levitt fielding the punt. Jackie Robinson style, going backwards, getting up the field. But my goodness, the punter, best player on the Herd's team today. Not lying to you and not being sarcastic. He's really a good punter.
Yeah, he's really given their defense some field to work with. And, we'll see what Goodman can do in trying to carve up some of this field and get some of that yardage back for the offense. I think this is going to be a very important possession for the offense, mostly for the confidence level. We need to see them start doing something, moving the ball with consistency, generate some, a few first downs. I mean, I'm not looking for home run passes here, but just generate some consistency and moving those chains. I'd like to see 2 or 3 first downs consecutively on one of these possessions and then, sort of cap that off with a touchdown too. Coach A interacting with the fans down there. Man, he has a great time doing that.
Coach A. Fun guy.
He's got the personality for it, that's for sure.
Absolutely. There we go. Goodman brings him to the line. 2 backs in the backfield. I formation. Takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off to the big back. That's going to be Johnson. Stiff arms a man at the 45 and still on his feet. Johnson's at the 40. He's going to jump into the air and fumbles the football. Hold on. They're going to call it down at the 35-yard line of the Texas Herd. My goodness. He went head over heels.
Great run, Coach. Couple broken tackles there. He was called down on the play, but I definitely want to see him secure that ball a little bit more, especially with the way that this offense has turned the ball over the course of this season. We need 2 hands on the ball again. We talk about fundamental football, man. Like, great run, don't ruin it with a turnover. Go down, take the licks, start up again, and punch him in the gut once again with another solid run. But I'd love to see 2 hands on the football and fundamental football for this offense heading into the second half.
Absolutely. Johnson, a big running back there. And a low to bring down. Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line. Fake pitches out to the left-hand side. He's going to shoot the screen to Jolivet, and it's wide open. Jolivet in the open field at the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Black Gold. Jolivet.
Yeah, Coach, we talked so many times about the screen pass and having that worked into the offense. Beautiful execution. Jolivet read the blocks beautifully. Great play action from Trey Goodman. He hit him in stride. Overall, a very well executed play.
1,000%. They faked the pitch to the left as he reversed out, and he shot Jolivet a great ball on the move, and the lineman just washed everybody out. A great executed play. The PAT. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's good. Your new score with 9 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third quarter. The Tall City Black Gold 23. The Texas Herd 0.
Well, Coach, I mean, we talked about it, at halftime leading up to the third quarter. This is exactly what we needed to see from this offense. We had a big play on the ground with Johnson, and then, you do a little play action. I guess it was like a play action little toss, and then you find Jolivet on the wide receiver screen. He let the lineman get out in front of him and really form their blocks beautifully, and then found a way to carve his way to the end zone.
100%. It was beautifully executed. The offensive line just washed everybody out. And the play action really was tremendous because they just had a big run by Johnson the play before. Back to the wide side with the screen. Tremendous play. Godina tees it up. He's going to kick it away. It's going to come down inside of the zone, and it's going to be brought down. The return is on from there up to the 25, give him the 26-yard line. The Texas Herd.
Yeah, once again, Coach, figuring out how to put that ball in the landing zone versus just booting it through the end zone. It gives them a net of about maybe, 9 or 8 or 9 yards on this one. But we're seeing the Herd start further and further back than they had in the first quarter.
I love how he's just popping that ball up, and he's learning, hey, just don't kick it. When you're playing American football, you want to kick it through the end zone. In professional football, and of course the NFL, you want to make sure it lands between the landing zone, or you're going to get penalized. And if it lands before, you get penalized. If it lands in the end zone, you're going to get penalized. And he's been doing a great job of just pooching it up there and letting it fall in the landing zone. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 3-by-1 set. Running back flank to his left. Takes a snap. Shoots it out there. Has a man. Is going to be overshot around the 50-yard line. On the coverage, number 23.
Yeah, that's Brandon Guzman. Good coverage on that one from Colorado State. Grew up in Pasadena, California. Enjoying life out here in West Texas. Good coverage on that one. He definitely turned around, Coach. I guess he learned his lesson on that first half play where he got the PI, but well covered. And again, it was sort of just a chuck up to see who would go up and grab it at the highest point.
He also did not let the receiver get behind him.
That too.
Here we go. 23-0 is the count. Black Gold on top. 7:57 left in the third quarter. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-2 set. Takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off to the running back around the right-hand side. Going to shake a tackle in the backfield and be forced out of bounds by number 8 of the Tall City Black Gold.
That's Jamison Lindsay once again stepping up, filling the void.
Lindsay with a big tackle right there. Going to set up a third down and call it 3rd and 6 for the Texas Herd at their own 30-yard line. 7:23 and counting left in the third quarter. 23-0 is the count. Tall City in front. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-2 set. Quarterback takes the snap. Looks to throw. He's going to be under pressure in the backfield. He gets it away. Has a wide open man at the 50-yard line. He's going to put his head down and get to the 45. Spins. Going to get inside of the 45. Going to take him down around the 44-yard.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, it looks like
the Black Gold.
It looks like he broke out of that pocket that was collapsing quick on him. Praise once again in the middle of it all, and decided not to run with it. Decided to toss it down the field. Lindsay, I guess the soft coverage sort of gave up on it, but the receiver coming through with a big play, first down Herd.
You know what a play by that quarterback. He was under heavy duress back there in the pocket to step out of the big Praise Amuwali, to step out of his paws and make that throw. That showed a lot right there by that quarterback. Here we go. 1st and 10. We're going to have motion on the Herd as 2 men were in motion at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like the slot receiver jumped. I don't know if it was a timing play or what, but
well, I think you were going to see a pin and pull. He was going to try to seal the defensive end, Oliver, inside, and they were going to try to get a guy on the jet going outside.
Yeah, and this is sort of the same story we saw in that first game, Coach. I mean, the decent play by the Herd, just nullified by a penalty.
Some of that is being organized, but a lot of it is just being tired. They came over here with a short bench to work with, and a lot of these guys are playing both ways the whole game, so they're tired. And being tired makes everybody not be at their best. Here we go. Quarterback takes the snap. Praise is on him in the backfield. Hits a fumble. The Black Gold pick it up. That's going to be number 6 on the move for the Black Gold. And that's going to be a scoop and score.
And that's Justin Whiteside making plays again, Coach. Again, that linebacker level, we don't really call their numbers too often because of what our defensive line puts forth. But, seeing a play like that, first of all, the credit does go to the D-line for the strip. Right, and then, Whiteside being in the right place at the right time, scoop, score, touchdown, Black Gold defense putting points on the board once again.
Did not get the number that got the big Paul on him in the backfield to strip the ball.
Yeah, like looking back, I think it was Will Green. We're going to look at the replay here. I don't know if they're going to get it in time. Let's see if we could see who it was. I believe it was Will Green who got him from that defensive tackle position, and it was just a clean shot at the quarterback. So the quarterback was stepping up from that pressure on the outside once again, and he stepped right into the lap of Will Green, who stripped it, and Whiteside just really scooped it up in stride and ran it all the way back for the points.
Big Will Green making a big-time play for the Tall City Black Gold. A great play, a scoop and score from the inside backer, the Chippewa, Whiteside. The PAT. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it's good. Your new score with 4 minutes and 55 seconds left in the third quarter. The Tall City Black Gold 30, the Texas Herd 0. Here's the deal, Mike. We're finally putting a team away when we got them down.
Yes, and defense taking advantage of those opportunities, and I think that's what we did not do in the first quarter.
Right.
So I'm actually real curious to see what this defensive possession has in store after a big play like that. Again, Coach, you and I both know it's really not about the play. It's about the execution of what you got going on after that really matters. And I think that if we can put forth another solid defensive front and either get more points or get that ball back to our offense, now we're starting to cook as far as what we're able to do here as an organization. But we're going to talk more about that once we get back. We're going to take a quick break. This is Tall City Black Gold Football, brought to you by JMR Services.
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cook-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
And we're back. Defensive score put up by the Black Gold. This is, I guess, their third or fourth in the season. They've been pretty consistent at that side of the ball. And once they put points up on the board, it sort of gives another cushion for the offense to do what they need to do and really start executing some of those plays with confidence. Love seeing Whiteside make a play and actually getting in the scorebook himself. He's been really a role player at that linebacker position, filling holes and, making sure that the running game is sort of kept in check. And on that one, Coach, it lands on his lap. He scoops it up and runs it in.
Difficult to have a scoop and score like that where just, he's able to control the ball in mid-flight like that. And he was able to do it. And it was a big play. We desperately needed the big plays to, kind of settle us down. Here we go. We got Godina teeing it up. The last drive was started, the scoop and score, because he pinned them deep inside of the zone. And that's what he needs to do right here. Try to help us out with field position. Godina tees it up, kicks it away. It's going to come down right in the end zone.
And that one he kicked through. Still gonna start the ball at, I think, the 35 now, and we're starting to creep into that Continental shift time frame, Coach. The team's got to start thinking, okay, it's going to be a much faster paced game. The running game is almost eliminated with the loss of the fourth down. So essentially, you have 2 downs to work with before you have to make a decision on whether you want to go for it or whether you want to kick it away. So maybe we see some action that the Herd has in store leading up through and into the Continental shift, but I think both of those teams start to have that in mind as far as how they want to start game planning that.
There was a penalty on the field, I believe.
Did you get a call?
It was on the Black Gold. So they have elected to decline the penalty, and I believe they're going to get the ball around the 35-yard line, the Texas Herd. It was a legal procedure. I think one of the upmen was moving too fast.
Yeah, they got to wait for the ball to either be caught or hit the ground before they can start running downfield. That's a rule that the NFL put in last year, and it's taken a little bit of getting used to, but I think we're going to see that as part of the kicking game, at all levels moving forward now. So the Herd start at the 40.
Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. Split backfield. Quarterback's going to take the snap, going to hand the ball off to the running back, looking for room. He's going to be met by Big Will Green and number 6. That's going to be Whiteside. Is that Whiteside?
That was Whiteside, Coach. And again, we talked a little bit about, the last play. He made a huge play, scoop score. It's always interesting to watch what these guys do on the next possession because they're either, still thinking about that last play or trying to figure out something else. So I'm glad to see that he was able to step up and make something big there.
Going to be no gain on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10, split backfield. 2-by-1 set. Quarterback takes the snap, looking to throw, shoots it out there, has a man at the 45. He makes a move, still trying to get out of a tackle, and that's a great tackle by number 44 of the Black Gold.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at that here, but that was Dami Ajayi stepping up, making plays in the tackling game tonight, stepping up from that secondary position and bringing guys down to the turf. Again, Coach, that was some of the fundamental football we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. You know, they haven't been able to make those tackles, so I'm glad to see that things are starting to round out for that.
Showed a lot of strength on that play of being able to hold on to him, the receiver. Here we go. 2-by-1 set, wing to the right. Quarterback takes a snap, looks to throw, shoots it out over the middle. He has a man on the run, and that's going to be number 2. He's going to be brought down by 23 of the Black Gold.
Yeah, just a timing route, Coach. It looks like he hit him in stride, and, you know, with nobody really in the middle of the field, he was able to get a few extra yards out of it. But, you know, great route, great pass. I don't think David Leash could get back there in time in order to disrupt that pass. So it was a good play by the Herd.
Going to move the ball all the way down to the 36-yard line of the Black Gold. The Herd is on the move. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, wing to the right. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, praises on the rush, shoots it out over the middle. It's going to be picked off, and dropped. He had a chance to get it caught around the 12-yard line and then picked off, and then it was just ultimately dropped by everybody.
Yeah, that was Brandon Guzman with the pass breakup there. Again, another one that perhaps should have been going the other way. Tough play to make, I guess, going up, but nonetheless, they did break up the pass, and we're still looking at a defensive stop that's in the making here for the Black Gold.
2:27 left in the third quarter. 2nd down and 10 for the Texas Herd. 30-0 is the count. Tall City on top. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Quarterback takes the snap, going to hand the ball off, has an alley over the right-hand side, stiff arms a man, and it's going to be brought down by Colby Calvin, number 17 from the Black Gold. He hog-tied him and limits the gain to a gain of 3.
Yeah, that was Whiteside. That was Whiteside up, still making the play at the front end of that, Coach. He didn't make the tackle, but he definitely forced the running back to bounce outside, which fell right into Calvin's lap. So, Whiteside's still making some plays at that linebacker level, but Calvin finishing the job, bringing him down.
Sometimes you don't make the tackle, but you make the play. In that instance, that was Justin Whiteside, the Chippewa, forcing the ball wide, and Calvin running him down. Here we go. 2-by-1 set. Quarterback brings him to the line. Wing to the left. 3rd down and 8. Quarterback look to throw. Isolating the man out there. Has a man at the 5-yard line, and he's going to go up and get it. He's going to catch the ball at the 5-yard line. That's good coverage. It really wasn't bad coverage. The wide receiver just went up and high pointed the ball, brought it down, and made a play. And that was a true one-on-one isolation. Mano.
Yeah, great play by the Herd on that one.
Absolutely. Good, a good defensive effort right there by number 23 from the Black Gold. As he went up, it was really tight coverage. Like sometimes it's just going to happen. They're going to make a play. And the youngster from the Texas Herd absolutely did. Here we go. Quarterback brings them to the line. 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to number 0 in the backfield. He is met in the backfield. That's going to be number – was that – did you get the number?
I think it was Whiteside once again.
Number 6, Whiteside.
Yeah, he came on a little stunt and fell right into the running back's lane there.
A great blitz by Whiteside. It's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. 2nd down and goal. for the Texas Herd. 7 seconds left in the third quarter and counting. This is going to take us to the fourth quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with your score. The Tall City Black Gold 30, the Texas Herd 0.
And right before we get to the Continental shift, we're going to take a quick commercial break. All right, and we are back at the stadium, and we are starting the fourth quarter, and we know what that means. That is the beginning of the Continental shift. So for those who are not too familiar with the way that this works, the rules are way different. So we're going to be playing essentially Canadian football rules here in the fourth quarter. The play clock is shortened from 40 seconds down to 20 seconds. It is a running clock. 1 timeout per team, so there's 1 timeout in the fourth quarter. There's a 3-minute warning instead of the 2-minute warning. Fourth down is removed, which is probably the most important rule change here. Forward motion, probably the other one, is enabled. So basically any eligible receiver can get a running head start towards the line of scrimmage. 1 yard gap between the O-line and D-line. No fair catches on the punt return, and then the special teams guys can get in the scorebook. We saw this a couple weeks ago against the Syndicate. You know, punt through the end zone will account for 1 point rouge, and a 2-pointer where a punter can kick the ball through the uprights. We call that the Los Dos.
Here we go. Back to action. 2nd down and goal for the Texas Herd. Quarterback brings him to the line. 2-by-2 set. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Shoots it across the middle. He has the man in the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for the Herd. Just got beat inside. Let the receiver cross his face. And whenever you're shielding the end zone like that, you never really want to let the receiver cross your face. We did, and we give up 6 for it.
And there goes the clean sheet, Coach.
It does. Oh, Lord have mercy. But they worked for it. You know, we just didn't give it to them. And whenever you make the offense work for it like that, then you really can't really fault them. I mean, there was 2 great catches that happened that set this up. And I don't think they're going to be too bad when they get to the film study on Monday. Here we go. The quarterback brings him to the line. He's going to have to call a timeout. And he does.
Coach, that timeout, man, you know, we just talked about it. That's the only one they have for the quarter. And they used it here on a 2-point conversion.
That's it. And it's really haunted us a couple of weeks. Those timeouts, and you really, really have to value the 1 timeout that you're able to work with, and really not use that on a PAT. But nevertheless, they did.
Yep, and we'll take a quick break as they sort this out with the 2-point conversion.
At Raising Cane's, we're hyper-focused on being the best at what we do and getting it right every time. Cooked-to-order chicken fingers, cane sauce, crinkle-cut fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, iced tea, and lemonade. It's our one love. But is the hype real? Yeah, it's real good. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
And we're back for this 2-point conversion try.
Here we go. Back to action. PAT. Quarterback brings him to the line, wing to the left. Motion. Takes the snap. It's going to be a direct snap to the quarterback. Now he looks to throw it. He's going to go back. He's going to fall back in the backfield. He's just going to fall on his own accord.
Yeah, just lost his footing there, Coach. I mean, and you hate to see that, especially after they burn their only timeout.
Good for us. Not great for them. Your new score with 14 minutes and 48 seconds left in the ballgame. The Tall City Black Gold, 30. The Texas Herds, 6.
Have you tried the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club?
Did you say ranch?
I need a little ranch. Ranch, come on, meet me at the ranch. Ranch, I wanna let my boots start long.
Candied bacon.
One step forward, one step back. Take your
A buttermilk ranch bun
get on back. Put your hands up high, drop down low.
with a jalapeno kick.
That's the way it goes at the ranch.
Introducing the Jalapeno Ranch Club. It's Chick-fil-A chicken, all ranched up.
Yeah, shout out to the herd for making the trek out here on Father's Day weekend. And shout out to all the dads and all of our families who obviously have to, deal with us calling a game and playing a football game here on Father's Day in the evening. But, Coach, it's been a great one so far. Lots of positive things that we could take from, lots of things that we still need to work on. But giving up a touchdown here, I don't think was the best strategy here defensively in the second half.
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. It's a little low, but I got you. I'm going to try to turn it up on my end.
You never want to see that, especially when you're superior to the opponent, but like I said, they made a couple of plays and teams are going to make some plays. I don't look at that as all bad. We got to close this game out the right way, though. Here we go. The kick is away. It's going to come down around the 5-yard line. The reverse looks like it's set up. No, he fakes it. Going to try to turn the corner at the 20. Needs a block and does not get one. It's going to be Tall City Black Gold football around the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Black Gold with 14 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ballgame. That was Joe Levette on the return as he turned the corner. Needed one more block and just did not get it, Mike.
Yeah, Coach, and, this is going to be a pretty decent offensive series. They've been on the sidelines for quite some time now. So we'll see if they're either rejuvenated or they have a little bit of wobbly legs from the timing that they haven't had to be on the field. But, it's going to be interesting to see what they could put forth. But again, Joe Levette making things happen on the return. I would have liked to see a reverse on that one, just to mix it up a little bit and try some different blocking schemes on special teams. But I think overall he did the right move. If you're not sure, man, don't try to hand it off.
Absolutely. Here we go. Quarterback brings him to the line. That's Goodman. The Continental shift is in effect. Motion. Going to take the snap. We have flags down. Goodman just best to shoot it out of bounds because we have flags. I believe that's going to be on us. It's going to be, what do they call that? A false start. It's offsides on us, really, because we got past the line of scrimmage, I believe, on the motion before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, there's definitely a timing play with respect to that, but there actually might be. Yeah, I think they lined up in the neutral zone, Coach. Remember, there's a 1-yard gap between the O line and the D line. So
That's right.
They have to respect that yard gap, or else they will be flagged for that offsides. And again, that's not a dead ball foul. The refs and the rules allow the offense to try to make something happen on that play and decline the penalty.
You're absolutely right. It was that 1-yard buffer zone that they did not adhere to, and it cost them 5. 1st down and 5 for the Black Gold. Goodman brings them to the line. Going to have motion. Going to hand the ball off to the running back around the left-hand side. That's the big man. Number 18, still on his feet. Shaking tackle at the 50 is going to be brought down inside of herd territory at the 49-yard line. A gain of 21 on the play. That's the big man.
And a big play right there, Coach.
Did you get his number? Number 18?
That's Jalen Samuel.
260-pounder. Goodman brings him to the line, takes the snap, going to hand it off again right up the middle, and that's another big-time run by Samuel as he's just spinning all the way down to the 30-yard line. A gain of 17 on the play.
Yeah, we're starting to run into some shades of what we saw in that original preseason game in that second half. At the time, it was Trey Coleman doing a lot of the ground and pound. This time it's Jalen Samuel.
Samuel looking like Bam Morris out here. Everybody in West Texas real familiar with Big Bam Morris. Looking just like that. Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line. 2-by-2 set. Takes a snap. Going to hand the ball off to the big back around the right-hand side, and that's Johnson. Johnson needs a block. Gets one. And he's going to get downed inside of the 10-yard line and brought down around the 8. Man, they're just gashing him right now. The Tall City Black Gold, and you kind of get the idea that they could have done this probably the whole game.
I think so, but now it means, like, again, we're talking about the tiredness and the conditioning. You don't have a lot of personnel to substitute. Looks like we have a player down now. We're actually going to step aside. But I definitely like to see the running game in full swing here deep into the fourth quarter. We're going to be right back. And we're back after the injury timeout. Black Gold pressing deep in the herd zone.
First and goal for the Black Gold. Goodman takes the snap, going to hand the ball off to Johnson. No, he keeps it around the right-hand side on a keeper, and he's going to get into the end zone. We've been calling for that all night long, and finally keeps it.
I love again the RPO, Coach. You know, you stuff the ball in the belly of the running back. You read the way that the line is shifting towards that fake. Pull it out and use your speed to find the pylon, find the edge. Great play by Goodman.
Absolutely. Been calling for him to use his legs a little bit more so he can gain the respect of that defense. And they are really tired. A lot of hands on hips out there on that defense. That run really hurts, especially late in the game. If you can run the ball effectively and efficiently, keep the defense on the field, it's really hard to stop. Here we go. Go Dina for the PAT. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's good. Your new score with 10 minutes and 33 seconds left in the ball game. The Tall City Black Gold 37. The Texas Herd 6. Texas Herd today. Run the offense. Remember, it's the Continental shift, so they got 3 downs to make something happen. Defense needs to put the clamps on them and turn them over on downs.
All running in that series, Coach.
Absolutely. Took the air out of the football and just ran. As we are in the Continental shift, they're going to just spot the ball at the 35-yard line. And the herd will take over from the 35, trailing 37-6 with 10 minutes and 32 seconds left in the ball game.
That's another Continental shift rule, Coach. The receiving team, after a touchdown, decides whether they want to have a kick return or have the ball positioned at the 35.
And I don't blame them. They're saying we'll take the field position because they've had a time of it. Here we go. Quarterback takes a snap, shoots it out there. It's going to be incomplete. Knocked down by number 0, Praise Amuwale.
Looks like we got a flag on the play.
Maybe the buffer zone.
They're talking about it. Either way, Praise making a play once again.
5 in the backfield. Illegal formation on the Texas Herd. Going to bring up a 1st down and 15 as they're going to accept a penalty. 1st down and 15 coming for the Herd. 9:53 and counting left in the ball game. 37-6 is the count. Tall City Black Gold on top. Quarterback brings them to the line. It's going to be a 2-by-2 set. Takes a snap, shoots it out there to the left-hand side. It's going to be completed, and the receiver is bottled up and brought down in the backfield for a 6-yard loss. A good play by number 23.
Yeah, that's Brandon Guzman stepping up and making a big open field tackle for a loss on the play. It almost looked like that snap caught the quarterback by surprise, though, so he kind of winged it out there and gave Guzman a chance to sort of recover. But again, Coach, it's the simple things I'm going to keep pointing out. You finish a tackle, you bring a guy down to the turf. That means a lot in a situation like this.
Absolutely. You know, Guzman was the guy that got picked on that last drive, and he's come up big right there. Here we go. Quarterback takes the snap, going to swing it out to the right-hand side. They're going to hit him in the backfield. That's number 44 for the Black Gold, and that's another loss. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's Dami Ajay making another open field tackle. He's been all over the field today making tackles. Great to see from the secondary level. And looks like the Herd are going to sort of be forced to punt with 3rd and a mile here and losing that 4th down option.
Absolutely, they're going to have to. But when they get to punt, we get to see their best player, the punter.
He has definitely tilted the field much more than anticipated. And really has given the Herd defense any fighting shot throughout this game by pinning the Black Gold as deep as he could.
Really looking forward to seeing him punt the football right here. He's going into a stiff wind. It is picked up out here in Midland. He's heading right into it. Want to say maybe a steady 10-mile-an-hour wind. And he's going to have to kick it even 5 yards deeper because they got a delay of game penalty put on them.
Yeah, we've seen them taking their sweet time executing some of these plays, and then the Continental shift, that play clock is cut in half.
Absolutely. The snap is back. The kick is away. And it's going to come down short of the 50-yard line. And Jolivet is going to try to take it on the bounce. He fumbles the football, and it's going to be recovered by the Herd. As he took an ill-advised bounce, a punt off of the bounce, and I don't know if that was Jolivet. I think that was number 8.
That was Jamison Lindsay, and real, not the smartest play to take in a scenario like that. It wasn't a great punt that we've seen. You're giving your offense the ball back. You got to let that ball go.
You got to. You're going to get the ball at midfield with great field position, and then you go off and do that. That's not very smart football. You're trying to get greedy right there. Yeah, mistakes happen.
Yeah, and that's a big one that you're going to look at film on. You know, again, a scenario like this, you have complete control of this game. You know, 6+ minutes left in the fourth quarter. All you really have to do is continue to run the ball out. They seem to be a little gassed based around their personnel. And, you know, you just got to let that one go, man. Like, that's a big mistake, a big mental mistake that needs to get fixed heading into these final 2 weeks.
100%. We're going to play some, you know, good football teams the next couple of weeks. We got the Toros coming in next week, and then the week after we got to go to Austin. So can't have that. You just really can't.
Yes. No.
Coach ain't making moves out there.
6 minutes and 57 seconds left in the ball game. 37-6 is the count. Tall City on top.
Doing a raffle for a jersey. Look at that jersey, Coach.
Absolutely. Was wanting to get me one earlier.
Yeah, they got the store open on the Tall City website, COFL TallCityBlackGold.com, and they got some amazing merch down there. I think they're zooming in on you up there.
Really, really nice jerseys that they have. Wanted to get me one before the game started. I'm gonna get me one here pretty soon. I'm gonna get me one. I like the black one. The Tall City Black Gold fumbled the punt, muffed it. The Texas Herd will have the football at the 50-yard line. Quarterback brings them to the line. I think they're lacking a player out there. Takes the snap. Shoots it deep. And it's going to be picked off. It's going to be picked off. That's number 23. They tried to pick on him again, and he was up for the challenge. A great interception by number 23 for the Black Gold.
And that's Brandon Guzman once again, Coach. So like you said, they're throwing to his side. You know, they're trying to do certain things that, you know, I guess to the receivers that he's squared up against. And this time he doesn't let the ball seep through his hands. He actually jumped over the right shoulder of the receiver, made the catch beautifully, and, you know, took it as far as he could until he ran into David Leach and knocked him down. But, you know, I like to see that kind of play, get the ball in the offensive hands after a pretty bad special teams turnover. Now let's see if the Black Gold can sort of run out the clock and control the rest of this game.
He went and high pointed that football, and whenever you go up and get it, opposed to letting it come to you, that's what happens. Going to have a flag. I think we're going to have a legal substitution from the Black Gold as we got 12 men leaving the huddle. It's going to bring up a 1st and 15 from the 49-yard line of the Texas Herd.
Yeah, I guess that's a sidelines issue.
Yes.
Got to play a complete game here, Coach.
There we go. Goodman bringing them to the line. 2-by-2 set. Oh, we're going to have a little bit of motion. Takes the snap. Going to shoot it out there to number 12. It's going to be completed for about a 13-yard gain. Give him 14.
That's Elijah Roundtree coming through again. Nice route. Like you said, a lot of things happening pre-snap, Coach. So, you know, a lot of that motion, you know, the defenders have to be aware of a lot of that stuff as the ball is getting snapped because so many people are moving in different directions. Roundtree with the nice little slant pattern, beautifully timed pass.
Roundtree with a great reception. Goodman with a good throw. Takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the running back around the left-hand side. That's going to be big number 2. Still on the move. Inside of the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Call it the 16.
And that's Josh King Bradley with the run. You know, we've seen him have a lot of power. He bursts through 2 defenders in that and picks up an extra 5 yards. You know, again, you'd like to see this kind of effort from your running backs as long as they can maintain control and protect the ball when they need to.
That was a gain of 22. It's going to be wiped out by a penalty.
That's not a fit. That's a clean close.
Big King Bradley with the run. Going to move the ball all the way back. We did have a penalty on the play. I believe it was a holding penalty for the Black Gold, a spot foul. Here we go. Goodman brings him to the line. 3-by-1 set. 2-by-2. Goodman takes a snap, looks to throw, looking, shoots it over the middle. He shoots it tall, and it's going to be almost picked off at the 15-yard line. Had a man open, and he shot it too high.
Yeah, it almost was picked off, and that would have been a pretty disastrous way for him to end his night here. It is 3rd down. We're going to see if they bring out Godina. It looks like they will. And I think we're looking at about a 60-yard kick, Coach.
Godina, the weapon. Godina is coming. They got it at the 41.
And I think we got a timeout on the field here.
About a 58-yarder right here, wouldn't it be?
58, 59 yards. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be set up for that. But they're going to talk about it first.
Well, I'm going to tell you, he's got a lot of wind at his back right now as the wind has really picked up out here this Sunday night. It's a good wind. He's got at least a 10-mile-an-hour wind behind his back. When he lifts that thing in the air, it should travel. So I think Coach is going to stay with it. He's going to stay with Godina out there and try to punch it through. Remember, if he doesn't make it, he still get a rouge, right?
If it goes through the back of the end zone, yes. So
right.
I think it's a way for him to get points on the board regardless. He clearly has the leg to clear the end zone. And especially if you're saying about the wind, I think it's definitely the right call here.
There's an absolute 10-mile-an-hour, maybe 15-mile-an-hour wind that picked up out here in West Texas. You know, it's always windy out here off and on. And we are in it right now. And he's got the wind to his back. A 59-yard field goal attempt for Godina. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's no good, but it does clear the back of the end zone. And I want to say he barely missed it. Barely missed it off to the left. It was really close.
And he does get the rouge.
It's going to be the 1-point rouge that we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's the power of having such powerful legs in the special teams category here in the Continental Shift. You know, you can really entrust your guys to, obviously try to get the extra 2 points, but, if they do miss it, they're going to miss it wide and they're going to get an extra point out of it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Mike, if he could have scooted the ball back 5 more yards, that still clears easily. I mean, it wasn't close. He cleared it by a whole lot. He's got about a 60-yard plus leg on him. Accuracy, it's a different story, but he can get it there.
Moving pretty quick here in the Continental Shift.
Here we go. The Texas Herd takes it over, trailing 38-6. Black Gold on top. 3-minute warning is in effect.
We're going to step aside. Well, Coach, I brought us back in here. I wanted to give us a chance to give a shout out to any of our family here on this Father's Day. Anyone you want to say hi to?
My family and all the fathers out there that do a great job for their kids. Yes, I would like to give them a shout out. It's a tough world to live in, to raise kids, and all those men that step up and do it with their kids, their own blood, and some not even theirs. Takes a really good man to be a father. So shout out to all the fathers out there that give their time, their money, their effort for all the kids. Because what do we say? The kids are the future.
They're the gift we leave the world, Coach. And
Absolutely.
Our
legacy.
The greatest blessing I've ever encountered personally. And I want to give a shout out to my little guy, Mikey. He's 3 years old. My daughter, Sophia, she's 6. My wife, Lauda. It's my entire world. And I'm so happy to be a dad, and I take every bit of advantage as I possibly can to be the best one I could be.
Big ups to you and all the dads out there. Here we go. Back to action. 1st down and 10 for the Herd. Quarterback takes the snap, looks to throw, shoots it out to the left-hand side. He has a receiver. It's going to be a gain of about 8 yards before he's walked out of bounds. We're going to call that number 6, Whiteside, on the play. Justin Whiteside out from his linebacker position, covering it outside. A 1,000%. Big Will Green has been a monster in the middle of the field. Going to have a delay of game. Remember, the play clock goes all the way down to 20 seconds from 40 seconds. So they got to kind of put a little pep in their step. 1:45 and counting left in the ball game. 38-6 is the count. Tall City on top. Here we go. Motion. Takes a snap. The rush is on. He's going to have to step up out of the pocket, and he does. He stiff arms the man at the 40. Still on his feet. The 45, and he's going to be brought down around the 36-yard line. They picked up the ball, but I don't believe. Hold on. He fell. But I don't think that should be. Because when you give yourself up like that, it's down. He wasn't touchdown, and they're going to call it a touchdown. See, I don't believe that should be, because you can go down in the NFL and professional football without being touched if you give yourself up, and that's exactly what I thought he did. I thought he gave himself up right there.
And especially as the quarterback, right? So you would almost look for him to do that. And then, have the refs blow it dead so that there are no, cheap shots or hits that could potentially hurt him. But again, we saw this, honestly, Coach, we saw this whole thing play out in that syndicate game with Kobe Calvin. This kid plays to the whistle, right? He didn't hear a whistle.
It's a real heads-up play by Kobe, a real heads-up play. But I think those referees kind of messed up right there. That shouldn't have happened. The guy tripped by the turf, and he wasn't touched down. So Kobe got the ball, picked it up, and took it the other way. A real heady play by Kobe, but I think the refs could have done better right there.
I agree with you, and obviously I'm happy to see the defense score again, and
Really?
Kobe doing what he does. Obviously wearing a new number this week. He's usually number 1, so it's kind of weird to see him in that 17 number, but. Nonetheless, man, playing to the whistle. He didn't hear a whistle. He kept chugging along, picked up the ball, saw it on the ground, and just kept going into the end zone. He didn't think twice about it, and that's what you really need consistently across all your players.
Well,
looks like they're talking a little bit about it here. I'm not quite sure if they're going to call it back.
I don't believe they're going to call it back. I think there was a penalty on the black gold.
Dead ball?
It has to be a celebration penalty or something like that, because they're spotting it 15 yards back.
Okay.
But you can give yourself up, and I think that's exactly what happened right there. And they should have blown the play dead. You don't really want guys on the ground and guys jumping on top of them because they hadn't been touched necessarily, They're going to try to kick a 60-yard field goal, 60 yard. They're going to give him his chance right here. This is going to be a 60. What do you got? 52? No, well, about a 59.
That's 60 yards.
60-yarder right here. We'll call it 60.
No rouge on this one. It'll be an extra point attempt.
The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's got plenty of leg. And it's no good. It's off to the right. It had plenty of leg to get there. He just missed it off to the right.
Yeah, that's the accuracy piece that you're talking about, Coach.
Right. That's what makes that kicker up in Dallas worth so much is the accuracy. He can really boot them 65-yarders with no problem, and he's still really accurate. That's kind of a cheat code, because once you get to the 50, you can kick. You can use him then. And Godina just needs to work on that a little bit. And he's got all the leg. He's got all the leg talent in the world. He just needs to work on that accuracy, and he'd be right up there.
Definitely. And again, kicking accuracy is critical. But in this quarter, with that kind of leg, again, we talked a little bit about it as we were trailing in that syndicate game too. When you got two players, Riedel and Godina with monster legs, you really only need to get to midfield to even just put points on the board, either with a Los Dos or a Rouge, too.
Absolutely, for sure. 35 seconds left and counting. Think this is going to be the last play of the ball game. Here we go. 2-by-1 set, split backfield. Quarterback takes the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the running back around the right-hand side, looking for some room. He's not going to get any. It's going to be brought down by number 2, and that's King. That's the King. And number 82, Big Will Green.
Yeah, Will Green looks like a giant in that pile.
Oh, my Lord. Huge. All of them. Look at Will Green, and then look at Amiwale, and then, 15. They're all big. That's the end of the ball game, folks. With your score, the Tall City Black Gold 45, the Texas Herd 6.
We'll be right back to wrap it up.
Baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, baby better hate me, okay.
And we're back here trying to wrap up the Tall City Black Gold victory here on Father's Day against the Texas Herd. They pull it out 44-6. And really a defining game for their offense. With the key takeaways, you really got to look at what Goodman had done at the quarterback level, putting some effort into the ground game. We had some big running backs make some big plays, and then defense putting points on the board once again. I think this was an overall all-around team effort and 6'7" on the field right there. But I think it's really good to see the reps come in and see some of the timing, take place here, Coach. Obviously a lot of mistakes. We still got a lot of things that we got to fix as we start heading into the tail end of the season. But, what's your overall take on the way that things panned out for this team tonight?
Well, it was a much-needed victory, and the last 2 weeks hadn't gone our way. So we got some confidence back a little bit that we needed. We incorporated the new faces that we have on the football team, which we have many, especially on that offensive line. Got to build a little bit of continuity with the offensive line in the run game, and picking up their pass protections. Really dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball tonight. Will Green was a big revelation for us. He's going to be much needed when we play the bigger teams in our league. That front four on the defensive side controlled the line of scrimmage on the defense. They did really well out there. And just the continuity as a whole. We needed the reps. We needed some confidence after what transpired last weekend up in San Antonio. And we got that. That's what we needed. That's what we got. Now it's down to business. I believe we have the Toros coming in next week, and it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a dogfight. We're not going to roll over like it was in San Antonio. We got something for them when they come. It's going to be something that they're going to have to work for if they're going to get from us. So I know all the people in the organization are looking forward to that game. We are too. Needed tonight some much needed confidence, some repetitions, some continuity on the offensive line, and we got some points. We scored a whole lot of points, something we haven't done this season. And so, I think I think what we got what we were looking for.
I agree, Coach. And, those points came from a lot of different directions, but I think that as next week starts to unfold and as you start to prepare for a team like the Toros, who, let's be honest, I mean, they laid it down to us down in San Antonio. It was a 59-0 final. Now, again, a lot of that came at the end of the first half, and it wouldn't have been as, I guess dominant. But with respect to the sort of the takeaways that we need to establish here, we must play mistake-free football. And I think that has to be the message heading into this week. We can't turn the ball over. We must capitalize on opportunities when they literally land on our lap. And that's something we really didn't do tonight. So that's something that we need to make sure is sort of set up and configured the right way. But, mistake-free football has to be the name of the game. But the defensive line, if this was sort of a prep for what we can expect for them to put out next week, we need them to be that stronghold for the defense again. And again, it really does open up a lot of those plays for a Justin Whiteside or a Dami Ajay or a Jamison Lindsay in the secondary. It all starts at the D line, and if we can keep getting that pressure, but yet keep getting the control the running game with big guys like Will Green up the middle. I mean, man, we're going to be a tough team to move the ball against, and the Toros have shown that they have a solid offense that can do it. But if they're met with this defensive line like we saw tonight, they're gonna have their hands full next week for sure.
I definitely think they're the top of the heap when it comes to our league. There's no doubt they have extreme talent, but they also have some good schematics going. They have the tactical advantage over the teams the last 2 weeks that I've seen them play. Definitely turn on the film, and that really shoots right off. I do believe they try to make the play left-handed. They take away the run. They try to stack the line of scrimmage with a lot of bare fronts and make it difficult on you to run the football and try to make you throw to beat them. I don't know. Maybe just us flip the table on them and see what happens, right? We'll see. Happy Father's Day and God bless.